Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Hey, they're finally home, and they came home with a little bit of fight to them, though they fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder 146-132. Deebo's a commander. Yep, got traded from the 49ers to the Washington Football Club for a fifth-rounder. In comparison, for a wide receiver, Jerry traded a fourth-rounder for Jonathan Mingo from Carolina. You be the judge. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Welcome into the Morning Huddle, 94.1. I'm AJ, joined as always by Mr. Rob Thompson. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Morning, Victor Brown.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask that you,
Slick Vic.
You're going to have to handle a heavy load today. I'm going to have to watch this movie, Nora.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna some kind of crack stream. I'm going to watch this morning.
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's the best picture in the whole wide world, Vic. I
Everybody
don't know
likes
what you
this
mean.
thing. I don't know what boat I missed.
How many of those movies that were nominated have you seen?
None.
Zero?
None. I do endeavor to see the
A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do endeavor to see that.
It's the only one I've seen of all of them.
Well, Nosferatu. We had seen that. And
But
that
it wasn't in the Best Picture.
But it was still at least the one of them that I'd seen.
I know. I thought it was going to be in the Best Picture nominees.
Oh, I knew. Well, it could have been. I don't know. It wasn't horrible.
But it was like cinematography and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Which,
so-
I mean,
At least to that one, I could speak to it. But no, I've spent most of the evening like my father.
like going, what the hell?
Who?
Huh?
What? Where?
What?
It's about a what?
Yeah.
About a transgendered Honduran. What? What?
Yeah. I guess the most of all the movies that were, I'll be honest, the only ones that I heard of being in theaters were A Complete Unknown and Wicked.
Yeah, that's it. And I guess I've seen Wicked in a roundabout way.
Someone told me to watch The Substance. I haven't seen it, but someone was like, you got to check this out.
My youngest saw it. He found it remarkably disturbing.
See,
He's like, I wish I hadn't seen it.
People were like, you're either going to love it or feel really weird that you watched it.
He wished he hadn't seen it.
But yeah, everything else, like I'd never even heard of most of those movies. I used to be so into movies that I would like make sure I watched everything, and then that way I could be really angry about.
Yeah, I could have some righteous indignation.
Yeah,
I have none.
but
I have no indignation, none at all.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. I used to have that. And then,
I enjoyed it though. I was forced to watch it. I was under edict. My wife was like, "I sit through enough of your crap. You're not going into the other room."
I was the only thing that bothered me is I almost made a wager on it on Timothée Chalamet winning the Best Actor role because everybody who's ever done these movies where they play a musician,
normally gets
if you play your own music in the movie, you win.
Yeah.
Like it's just because they work so hard to like be able to figure out how to be a musician. And I was like, oh God, they're gonna give it to him.
No, they didn't.
And he was good in that movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
And I don't know anything about The Brutalist. It sounds cool.
I'm a fan of the architecture, so I think I'm going to watch it.
Okay. Well, it didn't look very cool to me.
Weird thing to say.
And normally a movie with Adrian Brody, my instant reaction is, I don't want to watch that movie.
First of all, and at least he spoke to it. I was like, I thought that dude had been relegated to Cinemax movies. I thought that guy had been relegated to the we have a 10-picture deal and you're going to do them all this year kind of movies.
Yeah.
But no.
And Nosferatu didn't win anything.
I know. Too bad.
Didn't win anything.
The guy that
Losers.
designed the gigantic phallus
right?
that Nosferatu had to wear should have won an award just because of he had an eye for detail.
The makeup and hairstyling award went to The Substance.
And I saw. Did you see a little bit of that Demi? Did you see any?
Yeah.
Of the,
Yeah.
I'm not going to see that.
I had been told she was going to win the Lady Actress Award, and then she didn't win it either. So big upsets, big upsets. Mikey Madison won the Best Actress Award with the name Mikey.
Yeah.
I mean, That's very difficult to do.
It's
The
not.
first
It's interesting.
the first Mikey to win a Best Actress award.
Yeah,
First person named Mikey.
I mean, I'm not opposed. It's not a bad name.
I don't know. I don't like Mikey
Well, I
for a
always
girl.
felt like if I had a girl, I would name her a name that when you first looked at it, you'd have a question in case she was professional and would ever be looked down upon. If you just saw the name,
Like Pat or Chris.
no, but it would be less lesbian and more like Avery or a name where you go. It could go either way. Brooke.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you look at it, you go, it could go male, female. I'm not sure. Not
You've
Pat.
met a dude named Brooke?
I know former head coach at UTSA, Brooke Thompson or Brooks. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brooks, I get. Avery's tough, too. Those are girl names.
Well, there's Avery Johnson.
I know. He's
So
like the only
that's
one.
what I'm saying. But those that know, could you go, well, maybe.
Maybe so.
Maybe. You never. I just felt like if I did, but that
Never
crossed.
happened.
I thought it would just kind of help with a leg up.
Yeah. Well,
Better than like Tiffany.
Rob, back then it was a man's world.
Well, yeah.
Little did you know that the script would be flipped by the time.
Yeah, I've become very aware that it is.
Yeah, it is no longer a man's world, I'm
No.
afraid.
No, but that
Sucks
way
for us, Vic. Sucks for us. Times have changed, man.
Weird.
Yeah, the white man used to have it made in this world, and the bad ones ruined it for all the rest of us, and now we're paying the piper. Now the women, it's their time to write the hashtag Me Too. They've taken it all over.
Good.
Yeah,
Just let me relax.
yeah. I'm done with
Lord,
responsibility.
We've screwed enough up.
Yeah, we've
It's
done
up to
enough.
you.
We've done enough.
Because it can get much worse.
We
brother.
can't figure it out.
We've tried.
Yep.
In fact, we went to the ultimate male. We went all the way to the other side. We'll see how it works out. Help us.
We blew it.
We blew it.
Listen, you get what you get what you deserve, right? I've had a real issue this morning. I drove into work, and about halfway in, I was, man,
How? I mean, brushing your teeth is such an integral part of the morning routine.
it really is.
I don't know how. So something happened between the shower or the other S.
I washed my face. I like took my medicine. I did all the things that I do, because I have the gout, as you know.
Yes. Well, okay. So, but but you're following the process. So
Yeah.
somewhere the process broke.
I don't know what it could have been. I don't know. I think what happened was my alarm, like that I had hit. Instead of turning it off, I had accidentally hit snooze, and so I got up and left my phone in the bedroom, and so during my routine,
Your alarm went off.
the alarm went off, but I forgot to brush my teeth.
No, that I can get it. But because in the morning, especially us, because, well, I bet you're coming off about 3 hours sleep, much like me on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
So
Mondays are tough.
Mondays are tough, so it's automatic pilot, brother. You're not thinking. I'm not thinking till literally I'm halfway to work sometimes before I realize I'm there. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And if you break the process at 3:30 in the morning, you have a viable excuse because I was going to say there's only really one thing that you really need to do before you leave the
I know.
house.
That's
You know what
for
I mean?
me.
And
It's
that's
feed the
brushing your
cat.
teeth. Well, the cat will take care of itself. If you
they-
had some
she'll
kind
let
of
you know.
alarm that was going off in your mouth, I'm pretty sure you'd never forget to brush your teeth too.
Yeah.
But the cat's your alarm. But you have really one thing when you wake up in the morning, and that is that you owe yourself and then everybody around you.
I
Is
know.
to brush your teeth. I assume you probably either showered the night before or that morning. I know people are both ways. I'm a morning shower
I'm
guy.
a night shower.
See, and I get it. So my process, brushing my teeth, is right after combing my hair and right before blow drying my hair.
Okay.
Because in the morning I have to blow dry because I have to get it
Yeah.
to work.
Got to look
So
right.
if there's a break in the process, something might go wrong.
Well, I got about halfway to work, and I said, "Oh my God!"
Dragon breath.
I texted
yeah.
Rob. I said, "Dude, I got to stop at the gas station to get some tooth. I have a toothbrush, but for whatever reason, I ran out of the my small toothpaste, so I don't have any. So I'm digging through my bag. I realize I don't have it. Now I've got to go to a gas station, and I asked Rob, "Do you guys want any breakfast?" And so I'm going to the QT. And I get there, and I grab the breakfast sandwiches. Then I go over to the by the way, I got the last 4 breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, nice.
Last 4.
They were aged perfectly. They had
Yep.
just the
Oh,
right
yeah.
crisp on the outside.
Now, do you guys prefer the croissant or the biscuit?
I prefer the croissant.
Okay, yeah, I like the croissant, too.
Yeah.
The biscuit is dry.
It's dry and it's too much.
Yeah.
Too big.
So So I get those, and then I go over to the area where they would have all the
trucker spot.
Yeah, the medicines and the they've got razors, they've got condoms, they've got
That's a big trucker stop.
lubricants. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Which kind of lubricant? Like for the
sex
truck?
lube.
Oh,
Sex lube.
like Diddy lube.
Yes, but what they didn't have there
Wait a minute.
was
Trademark that.
toothpaste. I'm like, so you got toothbrushes, they got floss, they've got Listerine.
Was there a spot for it and it was gone?
I don't know. Everything was in shambles there.
Oh well.
So I went across the street to the 7-Eleven where they did have toothpaste, but they had like a full-size toothpaste, which isn't what I wanted.
I figure if you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well get the
like
big size.
$6 for a toothpaste tube. Oh yeah, and like as I she tells me how much it is, and I
After you
tap my
choked.
card, and she's like, "Man, that's expensive toothpaste." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was hoping you guys would have like just a travel size." And she's like, "Oh, we did. We have the travel size with its own toothbrush. It's like $3." And I was like, "I just tapped my card. It's too late now." But so now I've got a full size toothpaste, which I'm going to keep in my desk here.
We're building our medicine cabinet.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
We have anti-diarrheals.
Yep.
We have
Tums.
We have some Tums. Got a couple of
Some cat food.
we got the cat food. We got the little red pill for the allergies and the sniffles. We
Yep.
got that.
Yep.
So we're building it. How are we on the glutides for you? We got any emergency injections just in case?
No, I'm
Nothing.
all right.
You all right?
Got any boner meds?
Any boner meds that we need to put in there?
I don't think I'll need those for here.
You never know,
Oh,
Vic.
yeah.
You never know.
Never.
never know.
Yeah. We're here early.
What if you're here and your wife drops you off one day, and you're the only one here?
There's some empty studios.
Like Rob and I text, and we're like, "Hey, we're both going to be late," and Vic's like, "Oh."
Oh, okay. I got about.
I've
2
got an
minutes. I
idea
got 10 minutes.
for a collab. I have an idea. I've been learning this thing about monetizing YouTube.
That's right.
Hey, honey, have you ever heard of OnlyFans?
I have a complaint that I've got to bring to the board on the other side. We got a lot of fun and frivolity to get into, but Rob and I had a weekend filled with music, and one day was awesome,
I
and
saw
one
3
day
great shows and 2 great bands.
and one day was less than awesome. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, we do have a trouble spot southeast side of downtown. On I-10 eastbound, still shut down, Roland over to Martin Luther King. Major accident working here earlier, an 18-wheeler accident. So they're cleaning that up. Traffic still being diverted onto the frontage road. So again, about a 20-minute delay, slow from Hagberry, Rigsby, a good alternate route. This road work on the northeast side on 35 northbound, 1604 up to Olympia Parkway, causing a little bit of a delay. Only one lane open. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
T-Mobile Home Internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile Home Internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on there.
On that.
Get T-Mobile Home Internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For JD Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/award.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything you need. More than 135 degree and certificate programs, online and hybrid courses, dedicated success coaches, and more from a top military and veteran trusted university for over 75 years. Classes start soon. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Hey, Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. The second half of the basketball season is here. The race to playoffs is on, and there's no better time to hit Prize Picks because the money, it's heating up. 1,000 times your cash, Taco Tuesdays, and the way they pay, let me tell you. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your accounts. There's no better way to get started with Prize Picks than right now as basketball season ends. And here's the best thing about Prize Picks is you can combine different leagues. You got a favorite in the pros, you got a favorite in the college, you can put them together to really maximize your bets. And remember the code ALAMO. Remember, you download that when you sign up today. There's money to be had. No better place than Prize Picks right now. As the basketball season winds down, go for the place to get the best cash with your favorite sports. That's Prize Picks. You know what you're doing. Go play. In fact, go run your game.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, the Combine continues out in Indianapolis. We've got all the reaction from the weekend.
We'll react to what the Spurs did over the weekend as well, including De'Aaron Fox's first game in San Antonio.
How about that? The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Vic, what are we doing?
Playing some of the greatest music that Michael Hutchins' pre-masturbatory death ever made.
Some people, there's disputes over how he died. I was reading that this morning. Because they weren't letting him see his kid, so there's some thought that he just killed himself because he was like a drug-addled.
Why was he hanging by a belt in a closet door?
Well, that's what he used to hang himself.
With his hand on his whatchamacallit.
Well, they didn't see.
DNA in front of him.
Now, are you sure of that, or did you read a rumor somewhere?
It's the same guy that told me about Richard Gere.
Okay, yeah, you can't believe that guy. That guy lied to you.
That guy that told me all about Rod Stewart.
That's famous James.
Also told me.
That's famous James, I bet.
In confidence that Michael Hutchins died of autoerotic I can't even say it.
Asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation.
We watched. We went to a U2 cover band show. What's the name of the band? Blood Red Sky.
Under a Blood Red Sky.
Okay.
Great tribute band.
You know what? I bet they were.
As good a U2 tribute band as you could possibly find.
I'm not really a U2 guy, but everybody else was going. Jason, Joe, Rob were all going. Their wives were going, and Jason was like, "I put you on the list." And I said, "Okay, well, now I feel like."
And his defense, and this is the last time I'm going to defend him as he tells this story, because he's coming to it from you weren't a U2 fan.
No.
And you're not an NXS fan.
No.
So this was not and could not be for you.
This was not for me.
So as you carry on.
This was for me to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, and I get this. But this was, even as a fan of both, I felt a bit hoodwinked. And I will leave the rest to you.
Okay. So I don't dislike U2. I don't get U2 as like this huge mega band. Like I don't like the people who cry. Like the people who cry when Bono sings. I don't understand. I think they're weird. I think like that.
It's a religious experience.
It's insane to me.
If you were in it, yeah, I get it.
But okay. And then I didn't know until I got there that there was an NXS band opening up.
Full-on NXS band.
Now, I want you to understand.
7-piece, what is it like?
7 people in the band.
For NXS.
There were 2 guitar players, a drummer, a keyboard player, the singer.
A bassist, if you don't count them. They had
Did I count him?
They had bass, lead, and rhythm. They had 3 guitars.
2 guitars, bass, drums, keyboard, singer, and saxophonist.
For an NXS.
7 guys. And I look at Rob, I say, dude,
wow.
These guys are probably making $500 for this gig. Oh, yeah. And then they're like divvying up between 7 of them.
Come to find out.
Yeah. So,
meanwhile,
first of all,
the rest of the story.
I watched this whole show. I realize pretty quickly that I hate NXS.
And I am reminded, as a man 10 years older than you, how good NXS actually was for a brief moment. That for an hour and a half, this band pulled out some songs that I hadn't heard in 30 years. And those of us that were in there that had bought at some point those cassettes for one song were suddenly remembered that third song on the second side. You're like, oh, yeah, this was a jam. So it was fun. And you even, up to this point, I will say you were having a good time. I heard you say a couple times, I don't know any of these. I've never heard this one. But you were hanging in there. The ones that were jams, you enjoyed the rhythm. But the close and what went on, things went south fast for you.
Yeah, so the singer in this NXS band is wearing a shirt that's like unbuttoned to the belly button.
Well, it started out high, and by the time the show was done, he kept unbuttoning one after another.
And he's wearing a wig.
Yeah, keep in mind, he's got a terrible wig on.
And Joe Reinagle looks at me and goes, "You think that's his real hair?" And I said, "Joe, no. Imagine like
that's
how
a mop
walking around like in real life looking like that. Like everybody would just knock you down. Like it was like
you get beat up.
Oh, yeah. It was obvious that this dude's wearing a wig. That, by the way, also became untussled more and more during the show because it was kind of clipped
he had
back,
a clip on it, but
and
it
he kind of went undo the clip as he was doing his best to be Michael Hutchins.
And he looked like Jack White.
He looked, the hair looked like
end.
Jack White by the time he was done.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But it was a mess. And I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm thinking, and their saxophone player, I swear to God, looks like he just broke out of prison.
Haystacks McGee, man.
He's wearing he's wearing a sleeveless shirt,
T-shirt,
and like
cut.
sweatpants,
pushing 350.
He's just a giant dude with a big gray beard,
with a beard that goes to the middle of his gargantuan belly. He legitimately looks like he's running a hillbilly.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a moonshine operation.
He's running some shine, no doubt. Probably a little weed on the side.
He looks like the uncle from the Dukes of Hazzard,
yes,
Uncle Jesse.
That's him, Uncle Jesse playing the sax. But Uncle Jesse is 6'4", 350.
Yes,
that's who's playing the sax.
Wow. Did the sax look real little?
Oh, well, he had two saxes. He had big sax, little sax. So the little one, it did.
So I spend I keep waiting for the first show to be over. I'm like, oh my God,
which went on.
How many more songs can they possibly do?
NXS opened. You name the 3 songs you know of NXS. I promise you, those were the 3 they opened with. And on the 4th song, all of us were looking around. Those of us that were NXS fans, going, okay, where are they going to go with this? Because the songs I'd have thought they were going to close with, they opened with. So we were curious where they were going to go.
Well, don't worry, they repeated them.
Well, there was if they did. So to close after, did this one.
I don't remember this one. All right, enough of this.
Come on. Come on.
So again, this show goes on, I'm telling you, for over an hour.
Sorry.
And at one point, I went and sat outside for a while. Like I was
really?
Yeah,
oh, dude. Those of us that were in the vibe, meanwhile, we were having fun, man. It was a fun band, unexpected, because that's not why we were there.
Okay, we've got to hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to finish this story. There are 2 things that will blow your
blew your
mind.
Blew yours.
Blow your mind. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, we do have a trouble spot southeast side of downtown. On I-10 eastbound, still shut down, Roland over to Martin Luther King. Major accident working here earlier, an 18-wheeler accident. So they're cleaning that up. Traffic still being diverted onto the frontage road. So again, about a 20-minute delay. Slow from Hagberry, Rigsby, a good alternate route. This road work on the northeast side on 35 northbound, 1604 up to Olympia Parkway, causing a little bit of a delay. Only 1 lane open. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
For decades, Rudy's has been serving Texans incredible barbecue.
But they've also been a community champion as well. And now when you visit any of their 4 San Antonio locations, just make a $10 donation to the Puppy Food Bank. And you'll receive a certificate valid for $15 in free barbecue and 2 soft drinks. So do the numbers. That's a $22 value for just $10. You'll enjoy great barbecue for less, and Puppy Food Bank can save more pet lives. Thank you, Rudy's.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Wow! Most cars and trucks can get premium ceramic window film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint, starting at just $199. Don't wait. Protect your ride today. Our competitors charge hundreds more, but at Mother's, you get the best quality and value. Call now or visit motherswindowtint.com to schedule your installation. With up to 60 different film options, we've got the perfect fit for every car and budget. Stop by one of our locations and see the difference for yourself. Want to boost your vehicle's security? We've got you covered with advanced systems starting at just $399. Call 210-213-2118 today and ask about our alarm specials. Since 1984, we've been the home of the tint and alarm special. Don't wait. Visit Mother's Window Tint today. Call now or go online to book your service. Your car deserves it. Mother's Window Tint. Since 1984. Call or visit motherswindowtint.com. That's motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Joel, it's fantastic to be a local business here in San Antonio.
Sure is, Nigel.
We always say, from the outhouse to the penthouse, we can plumb it and we can cool it.
And all that at a fair price with one easy phone call to 210-651-5899.
See, Joel, I told you I could do it without clowning around.
So what's with the red nose?
You can let go now. That's not funny.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and port in on $60 plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. So, as I tell the story of this night.
Now set the stage. We are at Sam's Burger Joint on Saturday night. There to see the band called Blood Red Sky, a U2 cover band. They have an opening act that I forget the name. It's like
it's called Everything in Excess.
Everything in Excess. That has now, by this point of the story, done an hour and a half, hard-working, every possible In Excess song you could have ever heard of has been performed, and this dude has watched every video and has every mannerism down.
And if you don't like In Excess, an hour and a half is like 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was like I was repeatedly getting kicked in the nuts.
It was
and I'm trying to have a good time.
It was good. They did a good job, amazingly so. So you thought, what a great opening act for U2. And remember, as the show opened, we kind of joked like, "My God, this band is huge. There's 7 players.
Yeah.
They're only probably going to make about $50 each by the end of the night." But it doesn't matter. These guys they're living their dream.
That's what I said.
So
I said, like, they all fist bumped before the show.
Oh yeah, they're ready to go.
And
Bubba.
I was like, "Hey, you ready to live the dream tonight as an In Excess cover band? Let's do it,
and
Bubba."
trust me, they look like me. They look like us. They're gray-haired,
they were
bald,
all old.
pot-bellied, old dudes that look like engineers during the afternoon.
Yeah.
So first set is now done. They're like, "Thank you. Under a Blood Red Sky is next."
Well, you forgot one thing that was happening during the In Excess show. There was an elderly woman.
Oh, gosh. This is unbelievable.
And I mean, I'm talking 70s.
Oh, I don't think she was that old.
You don't think so?
She was in her 50s.
Gray hair. No.
At the very
50s.
I was going to say at her very, well, you never know. To be a fan of In Excess at that age, I'm going to figure. I'm just.
You're in your 50s.
Yeah.
This lady could have been your mom.
I'm just saying, there's only a certain segment of the society that would have been a fan of In Excess. So I would say at max, probably 63, 64. But she certainly dressed like an old lady.
Wow, you're giving her way.
I am, but I also know there wouldn't be a 70-year-old woman at an In Excess show.
She had wrinkly, saggy forearms. Like
some of us aged a little bit worse, man. You see that crowd?
Well,
she was old. Let's just put it that way.
I think she was the oldest person in the room.
Oh, God, which makes this story even worse.
And she has a man with her who is
nearly as old.
Not quite. He's probably younger. Oh, yes.
No, he's younger.
He's probably I think this woman was 70. I think this guy was probably in his late 50s.
I would say it's mid-50s to mid-40s.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I'd say, high 50s to high 40s.
Like you think you were older than that woman?
I think she was probably my age. I think she was probably 59 to 60. I do. I think that's probably the age that.
How close is your wife to your age?
She's 4 years younger than I am.
You think that woman was about 4 years older than your wife?
Just saying,
if your wife looks like that in 4 years, you'd kill yourself.
Well, right. But I'm also saying that there's a certain segment of age that would know of In Excess. And if you were older, you wouldn't know. They were such a brief hit band that there's an age limit why would you, and especially given how much fun she was having, because she was a true fan.
Okay.
In the truest sense of the word.
Well, this lady is rocking out.
Oh, having fun.
She is just in the zone. Hands to the sky.
Yes.
Now, this woman is wearing a dress.
A grandma dress.
Like a muumuu kind of.
Like a Medea dress?
Yeah. Okay. And her man is first like just grinding up against her and like.
Behind her.
Yeah, he's behind her. He's like rubbing his hands down her sides and on her old granny boobs and stuff.
It's hard to watch.
And mind you,
it gets worse.
They're not hiding this. This is
kind of in the crowd, but there's not a big crowd. There's space between all of us.
Yeah, they're in a circle, and eventually people give them some space. Because this dude puts his whole arm under her dress.
Like hikes the dress.
And proceeds to digitally plow this grandmother on the floor. And it's like the most obvious motion. It can only be one thing happening here.
And it's our wives that notice this.
Yeah. And like Joe Reinagel's wife like taps me on the shoulder.
You guys seeing this?
And I look over and I go, oh my, I mean, it's just like Hammertown. Like,
Us old folks, we party, brother. We party.
Oh, I bet y'all do.
Crazy.
You get all us 80s kids together.
So finally, the show's over. Thank God, because now these two disgusting old people have stopped having their session.
It was an orgasmic show. Let's leave it at
that. There's a break.
They start breaking stuff down. I see them breaking drums down, it looks like. I go outside. I got to sit down, take a breath of fresh air. Yeah. I'm just kind of sitting outside doing my thing until the music starts.
Once the music starts, I go back inside as well.
This is about, so you went outside too?
Oh, yeah.
I must have been on the other side. So it took about 30 minutes. They legit had to reset the band. Well, it seemed like there was so much time that what we thought was about to happen would have made sense.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
So we get out. I get in there and they're playing their first song, and I walk up and Rob's wife says, "Take a good look at the band." And I look up there, and as I'm scanning, I realize these are the same people that are the NXS band.
It's the same
in
dudes.
Different costumes.
They changed. Well, they're minus two guys. They don't have a saxophonist in U2, so they lost him, and they lost the keyboardist.
Yes.
So they lost some dudes, but the OG ones, the original NXS guys, have changed clothes and doing their best now to look like
the singer
U2.
has changed his wig.
Oh, now, yeah, looks like Bono now.
The guitar player is wearing like a skull cap.
He looks like the Edge. He's dressed as the Edge.
He's got a fake goatee on now.
No, he didn't have a fake goatee on, did he?
Well, he didn't have that goatee when he was in NXS.
I don't remember the fake goatee, but I'm down.
I mean, he didn't have. I mean, unless maybe he grew a goatee in the 10 minutes between shows.
I honestly don't remember, but if he did, it would make sense.
He did not have a goatee when he was in NXS.
We know we had at least one fake appendix, fake hair.
I was so angry, and I honestly felt lied to. I didn't pay for these tickets, like.
Oh yeah, but you were there.
But
all he could do was, it's the same band. It's the same band. And keep in mind, we had come for this band. But this was the best part.
I was already so mad that I'd listened to this band that I already hated for an hour and a half, and now they put on new clothes, and I was just going to like them?
Yeah.
They're good, man.
Bubba.
They're as good a U2 tribute band as there is. They truly are that good. And
I stayed for about 5 songs, and I could not. I couldn't get past it. I did. I knew, like,
angry.
I was being a baby. I was like, I was just like, I'm not having fun anymore. I feel lied to. I really did. I felt ripped off.
They're the same band, and they were.
And I said, you know what? I'm just leaving, and I left.
Well, this explains how these guys can make it financially.
Yeah,
they have to do 2 shows just to feed themselves. Yeah. And another thing, you want to talk about the hardest working man in showbiz? That was a good 4-hour set that those guys put on.
Oh,
man, to be that old to be up there?
Well, the lead singer.
The singer's the youngest by far.
Yeah, he was born into this.
He's probably 30? My age.
Yeah, he's younger. Okay. Now, the other dudes, they were fans. They saw early shows. They were at Red Rocks in 1981.
I was
kind of fans.
If I wasn't the youngest person there, I was in the top 5. And mind you, I'm 44 years old.
Let me tell you, I walked in there and there's a bunch of gray hair. Oh, it's just so hard to get used to.
I just, and everybody was like, "Really, you're leaving?" And I was like, "Yeah,
this
dude,
is just getting good, brother."
I was so pissed. I just couldn't get past it. I couldn't get past it. I was so angry about the whole thing.
And who noticed it? Who noticed it?
Rob's wife did.
I
mean, it's obvious. Like she pointed it out right when I walked up. It would have taken me about 30 seconds to figure it out.
No doubt. And the thing about it is,
it's
the
not
lead
well
singer,
hidden.
The guy acts like both bands are truly different bands. He talked about the first band like he wasn't the first
Hey,
band.
let's give it up for everything in excess who
Let's give them up.
played
They were
earlier.
great, right?
And he's
you're
talking
like,
in his fake Bono
like,
accent,
dude,
and I'm like, oh my god, I want
This is so weird. Just sing. We got it. We figured it out. Just go on with, but don't play into it. That was a little weird.
He had a different wig on. He had a cowboy hat. He had the red tinted sunglasses.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this guy had practice in the
Bro.
mirror too. He had the U2, and he had the Hutchins moves down too. He practiced. It's true tribute.
the
Man.
whole thing just pissed me
It was
off.
phenomenal, man. It was awesome.
So I had a miserable time. But to each his own. Rob had a good time. He liked seeing that old lady getting
Oh yeah, who didn't?
blasted.
When you think in excess and Michael Hutchins, I just want you to think at the very same time. A
Like-
60-year-old woman getting finger banged in the middle of
Like,
the
every time.
That'll really, shabu shabba nothing.
Every time Joe, I was standing right next to Joe, and Joe would look over and he'd just shake his head like,
my God.
yeah, what are we doing
My
here?
generation, I'm so ashamed.
Yeah. You just can't go to shows with old people anymore. They don't know how to act
We're
in the crowd.
partiers, baby.
All right.
Partiers.
We'll be back. We'll wrap up the first hour. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a Mega March weekend you'll never forget, or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and port in on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
With conference championships just around the corner, now's the time to register for Twin Peaks $1 Million Bracket Challenge. Go sign up at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com and fill out your bracket before the tournament tips on March the 20th. Enter for a chance to win $2 million and other epic prizes, including $50 gift cards to the top bracket from every Twin Peaks lodge. Step up your game at Twin Peaks with 29-degree cold beer, handcrafted cocktails, and scratch kitchen-made food to satisfy your every craving. Only at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-680-8456. That's 800-680-8456. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-680-8456 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful.
Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Thank you. I think Rob's come around.
Yeah.
I showed Rob some photo proof. How old do you think that woman is now?
Made this worse. She's mid-60s if a day.
What, you took a picture?
Oh yeah.
Well,
she's got like the like her hand skin is sagging.
Yeah, there's liver spots.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has spots on it.
And she's got like the old lady diamond ring. You know what I'm talking about? All kinds of. It's
Does
like
that colors?
Well, it's just really big, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, and saggy. No, it's just mid-60s.
Does she smell like Avon?
I didn't want to get.
I said, I bet that dude's wrist smells like mothballs right now.
I never got. No.
Oh man.
What more in the name of love?
In the name of love. Oh. He didn't have to worry about the blood red sky, I can tell you that. That wasn't happening. I don't know how he did it either. It's like going into the desert, I would imagine.
He was there to party.
Yeah. It was a vile behavior.
That shows how good Michael Hutchins looked.
Man.
It got that woman so worked up.
Did your wife have a good time?
We did have a good time.
Like everybody left going, man, what a great show.
But after you left, they play, of course, all the U2 songs. And if you're there, you're obviously a huge U2 fan. And then they got down in the crowd, and the saxophone dude was playing the one song that there is, in fact, a saxophone with U2, Angel of Harlem, if you're curious. And they got down with the fans and kind of sang around. Yeah, it was a blast.
Well, good. I'm glad everyone had fun. I had fun hanging out with the fellas. I drank, some Lone Star Lights and I made the most of it.
We had it. Now we haven't even talked about it.
But I did feel lied to.
We went. So see, the cool people went the night before.
Yes.
If you went to Gary Clark, everybody who went to Gary Clark, and I had some friends that are there, And I know some of them are listening right now. And we haven't actually talked to each other, but I know you were there. You know, and I know we were there. Gary Clark is the kind of thing, it's kind of like the Dave Matthews Band about 35 years ago. That everybody says you're supposed to like, and you go and you want to like it, and your people around you are seem to be liking it more than you. But there's nothing really that is great.
See, I thought all of it was great. I just don't.
Well, let's be real. Gary Clark can't sing.
He just doesn't have hits.
No, I know it.
Yeah,
but
he's a guitar player. He's like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
All I'm doing, but Stevie Ray had songs. Gary Clark's got riffs. It's a difference.
All right, fair enough. There was some sports that happened this week. We'll talk about those. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Touchdown Vegas! What a wild finish!
Your home for the NFL.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. The second half of the basketball season is here. The race to playoffs is on, and there's no better time to get Prize Picks because the money, it's heating up. 1,000 times your cash, Taco Tuesdays, and the way they pay. Let me tell you, Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your accounts. There's no better way to get started with Prize Picks than right now as basketball season ends. And here's the best thing about Prize Picks is you can combine different leagues. picks. You got a favorite in the pros, you got a favorite in the college. You can put them together to really maximize your bets. And remember the code ALAMO. Remember, you download that when you sign up today. There's money to be had. No better place than Prize Picks right now. As the basketball season winds down, go for the place to get the best cash with your favorite sports. That's Prize Picks. You know what you're doing. Go play. In fact, go run your game.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The best mornings start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. A couple of trouble spots that are causing delays. 35 southbound approaching 1604. This accident has two left lanes blocked. 55-minute delay. That backup starts at FM 1103. Start moving over to your right side. Only the right lane is getting by. Look out. Or FM 2252. Those are good alternate routes. And southeast side of downtown on I-10 eastbound, roll into Martin Luther King, still closed from an earlier accident. Cleanup process continues. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Hey, they're finally home, and they came home with a little bit of fight to them, though they fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder 146-132. Deebo's a commander. Yep, got traded from the 49ers to the Washington Football Club for a fifth-rounder. In comparison, for a wide receiver, Jerry traded a fourth-rounder for Jonathan Mingo from Carolina. You be the judge. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle rolling on a Monday. Sounds like someone's got a case of the Mondays. That was me. After watching NXS, I had a case of the Mondays.
You know, you can lead a horse to water.
I had I went to the Flying Saucer yesterday for Texas Independence Day.
Did you realize it when you left, or did you realize that when you got there?
No, I knew.
Glass.
I knew already.
I saw it on my socials.
Yeah.
I didn't celebrate any other way than just
I did.
Texan.
I went and had some Texan beer on the patio. Oh, it was a beautiful day yesterday. One of those that makes you glad you live in Texas.
Well, I went outside in celebration and reinforced my fence. And
nice.
Shot guns in the air.
There you go. That's how you do it, Bubba. Yeah. That is how you do it. I kept saying this last week, and the news now looks like I'm wrong. Because I said, there's no way the Cowboys would put the franchise tag on Osa Odigizua. Like, there's no way.
Well, I mean, it's not as dumb as it sounds, but you'd have thought they'd have tried to tie him up because it's only going to get more expensive.
The tag for defensive tackles is going to be $25.1 million.
Yeah. It's not horrible for most teams to do this because we're not totally sure he's great. He had a good year, but, better find out for 25 that he's terrible than for 75. And I'm in the hole for 50. You know
realize
what I mean?
the last two, so the Cowboys, the last 2 years, the last 2 times they used the tagged guys, I don't think they had any intent of keeping.
Well, that's what is worrisome. But I get this one where you go, well, I kind of get it. My worry is it's not so much about the decision. It's the $25 million that you just don't have. By previous mistakes, you're not allowed.
You don't have the luxury.
You don't have the luxury of doing what you're trying to do. You're acting as if you got money in the bank, and you don't.
So in 2022, the Cowboys tagged Dalton Schultz for some reason. They said, you know what, Dalton Schultz, we should pay the average of the top 5 salaried tight ends in the NFL.
Well, in their defense, they hadn't quite escalated to a point where they are now. But, yeah, that was dumb, considering Jake Ferguson was drafted the next year.
And then Schoonmaker after that, right?
And then drafted, yeah. They just keep searching.
The next year, they franchised Tony Pollard.
Again, the price tag hadn't exploded. It was the year prior to the big money. So, yeah, it was dumb.
This is dumb. Listen, he's a good player. He was.
And if you'd have franchised him and made some kind of long-term financially responsible deal, then we wouldn't have any kind of problem.
Well, clearly they can't make a long-term deal.
So
that's the problem.
Him, you threw a bunch of money at him for 1 year, and he was very quickly gone. Now, if you're going to – the idea behind a franchise is to buy a little bit of gas money time. It's going to cost me a little bit up front, but if I can do this right and I get you long-term, I hope to save money in year 3 of this thing where everybody else is getting paid X, but I'm already paying you Y, and I'm ahead of the game. But the Cowboys just don't operate like that. They don't see anything more than about 3 years down the road because they feel like in the next 3 years, I'll find a fix. Jerry will drill another hole. He'll find another well. It's just the wildcatter mentality.
I mean, so once you give him $25 million for the next year, do you think he's going to be like, all right, I'm good taking 15 going forward?
That's the problem. That's why Dak had to get paid so much, because if he is as good as you hope he is, you're going to end up paying through the nose. And you're operating as if I'm probably wrong. He's probably not nearly as good as I think he is. So I'm going to pay him more than he's worth now, finding out that he's probably not that good, and I won't feel so bad when I have to cut him in 2 years. But what happens is these guys are better than you think they are. You franchise them, and oh crap, now I got to pay him.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It doesn't seem like a prudent move. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not saying that he's not important, but
on its face, any other team, you go, if you're financially responsible, this is not a bad move. But you're not a financially responsible team.
You're in a hole, dude.
You're not allowed to have a no-limit credit card anymore. You don't have one. There's just no money in the banana stand. You can't do it.
Yeah. The good thing about it is he hasn't missed a game in his career. That is impressive.
I'm not mad at him. I think this is the best thing that possible could have happened to this guy. Now go earn it. Let's hope he has a Pro Bowl kind of season and helps the Cowboys get someplace that I don't expect him to get, and somebody has to pay him through the nose. This is the best thing that could have happened for him.
So there's still the possibility that a long-term deal gets done and they don't have to do this. That tomorrow is the deadline for that.
If you were OC's people, what would you do?
I would want to make $25 million this year.
Yeah, I'd grin and franchise me, baby. I will put this in the bank. But there is the thought, week 2, pull up lame. Suddenly, again, you're out of the league.
Guys never missed a game. It's like,
I know. I'm of the mind, roll the dice, because if I'm worth 25 today and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm worth 35 tomorrow. Which is the goal anyway.
Yeah, the idea that this guy who was a 3rd-round pick would ever have a payday where he made $25 million in a year, even for 1 year, had to be pie in the sky.
I'll tell you what, man, the Cowboys are due on defensive linemen. I hope they have hit on it. I hope they have, because it's been a series of miscues.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's hard to let him go because you've you've missed on basically every other swing.
So rarely right, and you might end up paying through the nose for it.
Yeah, which by the way is the reason why back in the day they had to franchise DeMarcus Lawrence. Like it wasn't ideal, but it was like, well, what else are we going to do?
They had to franchise, and they had to pay him and spend the next 4 years justifying what they did.
Yeah,
he's not about
him.
stats. He's not about stats. He's about this, having to justify the money. I don't think Odighizu is that guy, but you got to be careful because you're about to get yourself in the same situation.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But like I said, tomorrow is the deadline, so it's still a possibility. But actually, it looks like 3 o'clock Central Time is the deadline to put the franchise tag on pending free agents. Only one team has done it so far.
Do you get the sense that
Kansas
deadline?
City.
Now, we saw the Deebo deal, and so we'll talk about it. But as that clock ticks and franchise tags are imminent, I wonder how much is going to happen between now and then. Because I get the sense there's going to be some pretty good movement, but something has to crack open, and I really don't know what that is, unless it might already happen with Deebo.
I mean, I think you'll see more leading up to the draft than you will to this, because
what about the wide receiver market? What is Deebo's movement do to Higgins, to Cooper Kupp?
Does nothing yet because he hasn't. I haven't seen the numbers on his new deal. Has he signed a new deal?
Who's
Deebo?
Well, I mean, the 4th round draft pick is what I'm looking at. Just the compensation.
I mean, I think that's pretty standard because the knowing that the Commanders were going to have to pay Deebo, like that's why they didn't have to give up anything. The Cowboys giving up a 4th rounder for Jonathan Mingo. Somebody was like, well, the Cowboys could have never afforded Deebo, which they couldn't. But it doesn't make giving up a 4th round pick for a useless player any wiser. Jonathan Mingo is just not a good football player. Like, so would I rather give up a 5th for Deebo
and try to sign him,
or give up a 4th for a guy who can't even play in the league?
Who's going to eat a spot, eat up minutes for somebody who probably deserves more, just because I got to justify this 4th round pick that I spent on.
You lit a 4th round pick on fire. Like, and they were never going to re-sign Mingo because he's not a good player. Johnny Mingo.
It's a good name, though.
It is.
Johnny Mingo. That's good. I want him out of the league so I can steal that. It's going to be the character in the series of books I'm writing.
Well,
Johnny Mingo, Private Eye.
Johnny Mingo, you look like somebody just walked on your grave.
During the morning, he's just a mild-mannered talk radio host, but in the evening, he's solving crime.
Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo. Yeah.
You're getting the vibe.
Yeah, I get it. I only think of Tombstone, and that's enough for me. I like to think of Johnny Mingo in a cowboy hat.
I like to think of him as a mullet wearing.
Yeah. I like to think of him as little tiny baby Jesus.
I was going to go there, but I decided I'm not going to go down that road. I'll start giggling.
All right.
Pray to my Jesus, you pray to his. Dear 8-pound, 12-ounce baby Jesus.
All right. When we come back, we'll get more into the trade of Deebo Samuel. This is a good deal. I say it's a good deal. I think it's a big deal for the Commanders, who are clearly making a push. Like this is they believe in what they got going here. So we'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. I got to tell you about Carbach. Carbach Brewing. I had some Carbach over the weekend, friends, and always makes for a good time. I had some out at the Gary Clark show. Then I had some margaritas, some watermelon chili margaritas. But you can only have so many watermelon chili margaritas before you got to slow your roll a little bit and have yourself a nice little Love Street or something like that, something a little more palatable. And, guys, Carbach, again, is all over the city. It's unbelievable how many places you could find it. And it's by design. Carbach, when they first came in, or they first left the Houston market, when they first got out of Houston, the first market they wanted to come to was San Antonio. And they said, we are going to make this our second home. And sure enough, their beer is all over our city. From the Love Street, which is their easy drinking Kolsch-style blonde, to Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, both of them very good, to the in-your-face Hopadillo IPA. There's something for everybody's taste. And again, they're all over town. So next time you're out and about, go and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf with 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Tonight, doubleheader, the Bay versus LA at 3 p.m. Eastern. New York versus Boston at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then Tuesday, it's Jupiter versus Atlanta at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to TGL matches only on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN+. Keep up. It's golf.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Dun 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 dun. Morning Huddle. Dun dun dun.
I have no idea who this is.
In excess.
Oh, yeah. One of the deep cuts.
Deebo Samuel to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick. Obviously, they're going to look to renegotiate a deal with him. That was the problem with Deebo in San Francisco, didn't feel like he was being compensated properly. And I heard the 49ers are also going to look to trade Brandon Ayuk. Like, the 49ers signing Brandon Ayuk last year was so dumb. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, they were desperate, and I get why. In hindsight, it's stupid, but at the time, they felt Super Bowl was imminent if they could just keep the band together.
Yeah, they just have so many weapons that you can't let one of them hold you over the barrel, it feels like. And if any of them is going to hold you over a barrel, it should probably be Christian McCaffrey.
Right, it shouldn't be your 3rd or 4th option.
Right. Christian McCaffrey's the most irreplaceable of those guys. Although it seems they typically find a way to at least hold over when he's gone.
And, Deebo isn't what he was. He's not fully healthy. But I'll say this. And he's probably
chunky.
you're going to have to pay him some money you're probably going to have to overpay him. But if I am the 52nd guy on the Commanders roster, and I wake up and I read the paper and I see on Twitter that they've just signed Deebo, that's just another thing about Dan Quinn. That team is excited. You can tell the front office is eager. If I'm a Commander today, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a fan. This is a team that's good, and they're doing things to get better. Josh Harris as an owner, along with all the other pro dudes that kind of stepped into that void, they haven't made a misstep. And I don't care if Deebo doesn't work out. But if I'm a Commanders fan and I was on the fence about buying a season ticket, I'm buying it today because I'll tell you this, they're all in, so I'll be all in as a fan. This is as brilliant as a PR move, probably more important as a PR move than it is a personnel move.
Yeah, well, if they really cared about PR, they wouldn't be called the Commanders. That's a terrible name for a team.
That happened before they got there, and that still might change.
They've got to change that. It's so bad. But you're right. Like, there is a buzz about this team, and, Terry McLaurin is obviously already really good. You added Deebo Samuel. I've heard rumor that they're even talking to the Jets about adding Devontae Adams as well.
Shoot, man. Yes, I'm
like
all in.
They're really
Do
trying
it.
to make things happen for Jane Daniels, who, set rookie records for passing completion percentage and rushing yards and all kinds of things. Had probably the best rookie season for a quarterback ever. It still feels like they've got bigger problems on the other side of the ball.
They're not really addressing the needs, but there's still time. They've still got more drafts.
They've got a ton of space. They've got a ton of draft capital. But, yeah, it does feel like, okay, you keep adding things to the offense. You realize your defense was probably the biggest issue.
But they're also looking across the street against the Super Bowl champions. I mean, there is some keeping up with the Joneses, but I think more than anything else is they've just got to reinforce to their fans that this is a team that's all in it because they've got a new stadium in the works. A lot of things are riding on this more than just the continued improvement of what has already been a godsend of a quarterback. There's more that's going on with the Commanders, and this couldn't have been a better move at the right time. I just wonder if now with the Deebo move, are we going to see suddenly, is Higgins going to find a home suddenly now? But before?
I don't think there's any rush. And in the Devontae Adams, who I was mentioning earlier, basically the Jets are they're trying to trade him. Everybody realizes they don't have to trade for him because the Jets are going to cut him. They're going to release him if they can't find a trade partner. And it seems like if they release or trade him, they'll take on $8.4 million dead cap hit in 2025, but they'll save about $30 million.
That's release or trade.
Release or trade, yeah. But I think most people would look at Devontae's contract right now and say, we could probably get him for a little less than what he's
I'm not making a deal for him. I'm not. Yeah.
So it's more likely I think he gets cut. But the Commanders were listed amongst the teams that are potential landing spots.
Well, I get calling his agent and trying to make a deal.
Yeah.
But the market is now set for a fourth, so I now know that it's going to cost me at least a fourth to get him.
I mean, Devontae Adams is better than Deebo
at
this point.
I'm not mad at a fourth, but I'm just saying the one thing that did happen with Deebo is I know at the bare minimum I'm going to have to owe a fourth and also sign him to a whopper of a deal.
Yeah. The teams listed as teams that are going to recruit Devontae, Green Bay,
which would, I guess he could go home. I'm not sure I'd want to.
Pittsburgh, who, by the way, remember Pittsburgh was the team. They were the most in on Brandon Ayuk last year. If the 49ers are really trying to trade Brandon Ayuk, they ought to call Pittsburgh and be like, hey, man, we're sorry.
If you're Devontae, do you go someplace where you really don't even know who your quarterback's going to be? I mean, that's kind of a big bite of apple.
Denver is listed.
Now, that's an interesting prospect. That's the one that you go, you know what? I know you've chased winners before, and you kind of owe it to yourself to go get that last paycheck. If I'm his agent, I'm like, winning is probably second on this because this is the last deal I'm ever going to make for you. So let's go out with a bang, not a whimper.
And the LA Chargers.
See, that would be the best of all landing spots.
And they've got
if Super Bowl matters.
They've got the 5th most effective cap space in the NFL, so they've got room to redo a deal for Davante Adams if they want to. And obviously, how much does that help young guys like Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston too? Yeah,
that's almost too brilliant for it to actually happen.
That's a good fit, but yeah, that's the and I mentioned Washington also because I mean you add Davante Adams to that mix, it's like.
Yeah, you start bringing in too much, you start aggravating the OGs.
Well,
if I'm McLaren, I'm happy today. Don't bring in anybody else.
Yeah.
I still want my 120 catches.
Yeah, I mean, we have all 3 of those guys on the field at the same time.
I mean, it would. If I already had a ring, I'd be all about it. But I want to go get one on my terms now.
Yeah. Elsewhere in the NFL, this is like apparently there's now the Titans have to be thrilled with what's going on.
It seems to be working out in their favor because it seems to be very obvious who the first pick is.
Well, the Jets and the Giants are apparently both talking to the Titans about trading up to number 1. If I'm the Titans, I'm like, yes.
Yes, man. We know who the best player is, and it's not the guys these guys want. It's not Abdul.
And the idea that both those teams are trying to trade up, they're going to compete with each other. Neither one of them wants to blink to the other. This is the ideal whirlwind for Tennessee, and now Tennessee they're going to be in a position where they can probably still get the guy they want
and somebody else
and get extra stuff. Now, trading with the Giants would be my ideal. The Jets would have to give up a lot more for me to trade with you because they're at 7. But the Giants are at 3. And I know that if the Giants move up to 1, they want a quarterback and the Browns want a quarterback. And I'm still at 3rd and I can still get the player I want. If you go to 7, you're not getting Abdul Carter anymore.
And, unfortunately,
that's out the window.
I think that gives the Giants so much leverage that it might preclude the deal from getting done because I know I'm giving you everything. So not only if I'm the Giants, I'm getting a little bit more than the draft pick because I know I'm giving you Abdul Carter and somebody else. So my deal will be a little bit tougher than Cleveland's. I'd ask a bit more if I was the Giants just because I know, or if I was the Titans just because I know the Giants have all the leverage here.
Yeah, if the Jets want me to trade with them, it's got to be the moon.
Yeah, you're going to have to – it's going to cost.
But Mike Borgonzi said that he's gotten several calls with teams interested in the first-round pick, which, of course, that's what you said.
I hope it's for Abdul Carter and not these other guys. Because I'll tell you.
No, but the Giants aren't trading up for Abdul Carter.
I know. Well,
they've got Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns.
What I'm saying, it's not about that. I'm talking about the quarterbacks. Because if you're trading up, if you're eyeballing Cam or your Shador, and after what I did see from the combine, there's a lot of quarterbacks look a lot alike. Jackson Dart, I thought looked as good as anybody I'd ever seen. So did yours. So, yeah. I mean, why? I don't see that much separation from Cam Ward to Jackson Dart. I just don't. And I'm just not going to spend that much money for something that little if there is that much of a separation. But it's an apparent to me.
If you're not a fan of those teams, if you're not a Giants fan or a Jets fan, you love this.
You've got to. You've got to because this is fool's gold. They're trading away perfectly good, I'm not going to say talent because it's not talent, it's position in draft picks for what appears to be just an average quarterback class, and you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it.
I think it's a well below average quarterback class.
At best. After what I saw this weekend, Jackson Dart's the guy I circle. That's the dude that he had a nice deep ball. He looked pretty mobile to me. I like the accuracy. I mean, I don't have a problem with waiting until the third round. I don't see trading up. And I think anybody who does do that is going to be unemployed in 2 years.
Yeah, I stand by. I would not take a quarterback in round one of this thing. The rumors are abound that Aaron, and I don't know if these are Aaron Rodgers laid rumors that Aaron Rodgers and the Giants are courting each other. Now that's, to me, it sounds more like, I know. To me, it sounds like Aaron Rodgers putting that stuff out there, because if the Giants are trying to trade up to 1, it's not because because they think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on their team. I'm hopeful. I really am.
Can we please have the Giants sign Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers to the Giants would be a dream come true. A dream come true.
I can't even. There's nothing even remotely akin to this if it happened. I mean, there's nothing that even remote like this if he went across the street.
Yeah. I mean, it's about as bad as it would get.
Well, it's good as it could get, too.
Yeah, if you're
on your aspects.
anti-Giant, it is as good as you can get. Fred says Commanders just got a whole lot better. They'll have the best wide receiver combination. Will make them more dangerous than the Philadelphia Sheagles. I don't know about that. I don't know that.
Well, I mean, as of right now,
are McLaurin and Deebo better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith?
It's 1 and 1A, man. I mean, obviously Philly's better. They got the hardware to prove it. But you look at skill set; those 4 dudes all deserve to sit in the same row. I'll give you that. I mean, I wouldn't put anybody too much further ahead.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill.
Well, I'm not comparing those. I'm just talking about across the street with the Eagles. I mean, there's some really good wide receiver combos, but they're in the same room if they had Deebo to Scary Terry. And who's the young dude that had a good one? When they have more than
De'Ami Brown is a free agent. Oh, well. So he's not coming back. They might be Luke McCaffrey might be getting some run.
Okay.
Christian's little baby brother.
I'm sure, but those two, pound for pound, they're as good as anybody else in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, man, the Commanders have plenty of talent on the offensive side of the ball. My big concern for them is who are they ever going to stop? And it's hard to be really good if you can't stop anybody.
Hey, they're ahead of schedule. They got time.
Oh, no doubt. This has happened. Like, it just goes back to, if you have a quarterback, it changes everything. And the teams who don't, this is why teams are so desperate to always find one, because
you get 2 years to play. You
it's
got money.
Instant. It is instant. You find Jaden Daniels and boom, you matter.
And then the cautionary tale is the team that he is leaving is the team that did not do this right, that had the couple of years with a quarterback, spent their money in the wrong place on offense.
Mm-hmm.
And here we sit as they dismantle all that talent on the edge anyway.
And they got to figure out what's going to happen. Like, imagine if they give Brock Purdy a bunch of money.
Now they got to pay him. That's why they're talking about Ayuk even less than a year from the deal that they just made.
And I got news: you pay Brock Purdy and lose all these weapons around him.
Yeah,
it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be real ugly for the 49ers. Which again is a team that I think
or Shanahan's a witch.
They've got as good a chance of doing it with a guy that they find down at Brackenridge Park. Like, you could find, like, to me, if Kyle Shanahan wants to just go find a quarterback, he'll find one.
I feel like that's the case, and I think that they'll go find wide receivers to fill the gap. Now, the likelihood of all that happening at once, I think, is slim, but I think Kyle Shanahan, of all the guys, has earned a little bit of rope. I'm going to let him go do this if I'm, he and Lynch, to go get some other stuff, because so far they have been right just about at every turn.
They have been. I do give them the benefit of the doubt, but again,
they could blow up pretty soon.
There's been a couple of missteps that make you go, really?
Because you get the sense that Brock Purdy could very quickly turn into Kirk Cousins. Very quickly turn into a product of its time and his environment, and get way overpaid and just ride that overpay over and over and over, because he's just good enough.
I think it could be worse than Kirk Cousins.
It could be. I mean, you get the sense that this could really go the perfect direction for him. I mean, he's been playing undervalued for 2 years, but the fact is, if they pay him what he's probably going to get, he's going to turn into Kirk Cousins, where he's always going to be just good enough to consider.
Yeah.
And too heavy to get rid of.
Vince says Commanders will never win with Quinn. He couldn't win in Atlanta. But listen, man, one team wins a Super Bowl every year. Dan Quinn played for one. I'm not the biggest Dan Quinn guy, but like, Dan Quinn's had a lot of success pretty much everywhere he's gone. He had a lot of success in Seattle, had a lot of success in Atlanta.
But the clock's ticking. We know that Dan Quinn's got about 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff kind of wears out. But for 4 years, as long as he's getting his dudes, yeah.
They just need they need a lot on his side of the ball, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the second hour of the program. Rob, tell the people about the fine doctor.
I'm going to go see Dr. Jacob Torres tomorrow at the Institute for Functional Health, but it won't be for my weight loss. You know, the IFF is also they're off of a full-service medical facility. They do general practitioner work. They do the weight loss. They do rehab. It is a full-service clinic. That's why I've enjoyed my time over with Dr. Torres. Now, I first walked in the clinic's doors back about 8 years ago, weighing about 300 pounds, heard about this doctor that was doing some things that were kind of unique, that had talked to folks like me who had never really thought they could lose weight or never really tried too hard, but had gotten themselves into a situation where they had to. He explained to me that he could help, but I had to buy into the process. And once we kind of met minds, I'll tell you what, the rest is history. I'm on a weight loss program that I'm going to stay with for the rest of my life because it's not about weight loss. It's about the functionality of how you're living. And 8 years later, down about 80 pounds, feel better today than I did yesterday. That's what I recommend for you. Now, if you've had trouble, if you tried the fad diets, or if you're looked at those semaglutides and found out the cost is overwhelming, there is an answer. It is Dr. Torres. You can lose the weight the same way and keep it off, and that's the key. Call him today. The number's 210-468-1891. Now, the website, IFF Health, is a great website. Go there, read through it. You owe it to yourself. Answer the questions that Dr. Torres asks, and then call him. He'll change your life. Listen, it's not as hard as you might think. It's going to take some buy-in, a little bit of work, but the effort is well worth it. If you want to have that beach body, call him today, and before you know it, you're going to see the results. And when you do, it gets a whole lot easier. Go call Dr. Torres today. Change your life. Come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We still have a closure on the southeast side of downtown as the cleanup process continues from an 18-wheeler accident. I-10 eastbound rolling over to Martin Luther King still closed. It's a 30-minute delay. Traffic backed up to South Presa. Now they are diverting traffic onto the frontage road. On the northeast side, 35 southbound approaching 1604. This wreck has 2 left lanes blocked. Now a 1-hour delay, 60 minutes. Traffic stop from Soames Road. So look out, or FM 2252. Good alternate routes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Eat Lux your way with the new $5 Classic, $7 Supreme, and $9 Discovery Lux Craving Boxes from Taco Bell. At participating stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-660-1771. That's 800-660-1771. 800-660-1771.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
With spring just around the corner, wouldn't it be great if you could upgrade your space? Well, Macy's is here for you. It's your last chance to catch our President's Day sale with big savings on what you need to refresh your home. Think 20 to 40% off new furniture, like our exclusive Radley sectional, now $21.99. And take 30 to 60% off a new mattress from Hotel Collection, Serta, and more, so you can sleep better. Hurry into Macy's before this weekend is over, because our President's Day sale ends Sunday. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You could do it, put your back into it. I can do it, put my ass into it. I can do it, put your into it. Put your... Oh! Tick, tick, boom, Rob.
Tick.
Damn
Tick.
right. Boom.
Yeah,
Morning
really,
Huddle.
Get the Walmart version of this one.
Yeah. Well, this is
What's a tribute band to Ice Cube? Crushed Ice.
Was this
or
this was Ice Cube?
Sonic Ice, the little ice.
Was this before Ice Cube was super family friendly? Ice Cube.
I don't.
Before he was a barber.
When he was a barber.
I mean, I think this was kind of like during the transition into being family friendly Ice Cube.
Well, he had to follow the other rappers into the living rooms.
Yeah.
He had to get once all the old white people that he scared with that NWA thing. They once they all died off, it was like.
Yeah, he wanted their money back.
Yeah, he's like, now I'm gonna switch it up and get all
greeting cards and
get all the
Target
kids.
Get some of the crumbs that Snoop's leaving.
Oh.
And Ice-T's selling car warranties.
And Ice-T's on like the longest running television show.
So
I know.
More power to you, man. Go sell your Geritol, Ice Cube.
Whatever it takes, buddy.
Yep.
When I was running the streets, I was regular, but now
I'm good.
take my fiber every night.
All right. The elsewhere in the world of the NFL, the Combine is underway, and
are we done?
Yeah,
I think we're done, right?
Yeah, with a couple of big winners. Matthew Golden, the Texas wide receiver,
fast man,
4.2940. And
what are they putting in the water in Austin?
I don't know.
Fluoride.
He was so before he was looked at as the number 4 wide receiver prospect in this class, behind Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, Luther Burden from Mizzou, and Teteroa McMillan from Arizona.
What about that Fresno State kid? What happened to him?
He's in the mix too, I would guess. But that's
a lot of talent at wide receiver. I wish I was in the market. If you're in the market for a wide receiver, there's some players coming out.
Oh, no doubt.
5 legitimate dudes.
I would imagine that this now puts him into a little bit of a different into a different pay grade than he was planning on being in.
Tell you what, let's just step back. I mean, that's 2 years in a row that Texas has put out the fastest dude in the combine.
Yeah. Xavier Worthy last year.
I tell you, that speaks to if I'm a high school junior.
Well, I think Isaiah Bond was right behind him this year. So it's like all the fastest guys. Well, remember, Texas had for the longest time, they had guys who were track guys.
Yeah, the Jones boys. I remember way back in the late 70s. Yes.
God, what is the guy's name that was he went to the Olympics?
Well, wasn't it one of the Joneses?
No, this was like when Mac Brown was there.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. The Cowboys ended up drafting him late, didn't they?
I can't remember who it was, but they had guys who were like there for track, and they were like, "Oh, you could play football too, right?"
It's always amazing to me when you see track speed as opposed to football speed on a field. When you see legitimate Tyreek Hill, world-class track speed. What's the kid, A-Chain from A&M that was the SEC sprint champion at Miami. When you see the dudes that have the legitimate second half, that second 20 yards when the true speed kicks in.
Is Marquise Goodwin.
That's it, Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin.
He was a hurdler.
Yeah, he was a long jumper, yeah. Right. But he also competed in the 60, the 100, and the triple jump. Like just a freak. Yeah, but you're right. Johnny Lamb Jones, those were the guys who back in the day, that's what they were in kind of the same.
Been Texas's gig, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good deal if you can get it. Find a guy, hey, you're here to run track. You also want to catch a football now and again?
All you got to do is catch maybe 1 in 4. You just got to be a threat, and that way you're pulling one dude off the line. So I'm playing at least 10 on 10 in places I want to go. Every now and then you're going to pick up an interference call. And, every 1 in 5 you catch, that's worth a pick, man, because there's at 4.29, you're always open. You're either open in the flat or you're open deep. You can't defend, or you're pulling a safety off the top. One or the other at that kind of speed.
Remember, I was saying, leading up to the Super Bowl, the best thing that happened to Xavier Worthy was they stopped trying to say, hey, run nothing but go routes. And they started throwing it to him basically Mahomes would take a snap, look left, throw it to Xavier Worthy.
Catch it.
Once you
got it, catch it. Yes,
dude, go. And when you're the fastest guy on the field, it's like, now I've got open space. You gonna catch me? Good luck.
The Cowboys also have always chased the track star. The problem is those guys just can't catch the ball, no matter how long you try. Bob Hayes, for God rest his soul, Hall of Fame stuff, but he was only catching 1 in 6 of those things. The hands just aren't quite there to match the feet.
Marquise Goodwin had an 11-year NFL career.
Yeah.
I mean,
speed kills, man.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's amazing it's been that long.
And he did that after he just decided, okay, after he finished school, he's like, I'm going to go to the Olympics. And then after that, he was like, okay, now I'm going to play pro football. That's incredible.
Well,
that is incredible.
I have trouble getting out of bed in the morning.
I know. And this dude's like, yeah, I'm going to go do this Olympic thing. Now I think I'm going to play pro football.
And then I'm going to be a cowboy.
Yeah. Was he a cowboy?
Not a cowboy, a real cowboy. And then a fireman.
Oh. I know he played for Buffalo for a while, and then he was the 49ers got him.
I think it was the 49ers, I remember.
And then I think he was in Seattle maybe at the end. But, yeah, when you have these guys who are that fast, it's like you find a way to work them, and the weapons are just it's unlocked. It unlocks a different level of stuff. And I don't think he's going to – I saw Mike Tannenbaum saying he's going to be the first receiver taken now. I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think some of the Luther Burden, his record, his resume is so good over all this time, and McMillan is so big. There's just some guys, just like you can't teach speed, really. You can't teach some size.
I'm really curious. What's the hit rate on wide receivers? What's the success rate? Because it just seems to me that every year there's 4 or 5 guys that look like they're ready to just step onto any team's field and play. I mean, the wide receivers of all well, I'll take that back. There are 2 positions that, in my mind, over the last few years, have leapt forward in skill, and it's wide receiver. These guys are just ready. I don't know if it's 7-on-7, and the other is tight end. There seems to be great tight ends coming out. The kid from Penn State this year looks like a lock. This
Yeah.
guy's going to be a pro and gonna make whatever team draft him. He's going to catch 60 balls. You can just see it, and it just feels like at some point you reach a critical mass where you've got so much talent at these positions that you get that running back glut where everybody goes, I'm not paying anymore. I can go draft one of these because there's 5 of you guys coming out every year.
Let's see. So the last handful of first-round receivers.
Just last year.
Last year you had Marvin Harrison Jr.
And had an adequate year. He was a predicate of his quarterback, but when available, he seemed to play well to me.
Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
Roma Dunze.
Okay.
Brian Thomas Jr. He was great. He might have been the outside of
well, he's the biggest surprise from where he was
outside of
drafted.
Neighbors. He was the most impressive, and then Xavier Worthy.
So
and Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Leggett.
Well,
so
Ricky had to get over a gunshot, but he's so good that they're willing to get rid of Deebo. So you start wondering, are we about to run into another glut here?
Then after that, the first 2 picks of round 2, Keon Coleman and Ladd McConkey, both guys who were like impact guys.
I might start drafting guys look just like you if you ask for too much money.
2023, well, not as good. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
That's not bad.
Quentin Johnston. Zay Flowers.
See?
2022, you had Traylon Burks.
No.
Woof. Jahan Dotson.
No.
Jamison Williams is good.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, good.
Yeah. See?
Garrett Wilson's been good. Drake
Adequate.
London, okay.
See, are we running into a point where you can play your contract and move on?
It's tough, though, because, like, 2021, it's just like all these, there's going to be hits and misses.
Well, you've named, I would say, 15 wide receivers, right? Just over the last couple of years that are legitimate 1 or 2s on every team.
Okay, 21, Rashad Bateman,
That's the
first-round
one.
pick. Is he? Yeah. Kadarius Toney.
Oh, that was bad place, bad time.
But Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase was 2021. So I don't know, man. But also for every now here's another crazy. So 2020, the first receiver off the board was Henry Ruggs.
Oh.
It's hard to
we'll never
it's hard to know what he would have been, but he's in prison.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Second one, Jerry Jeudy, disaster.
Yeah.
Third one, CeeDee Lamb, awesome. Fourth one, Jalen Reagor, disaster.
Yeah.
Fifth one, Justin Jefferson, awesome.
Success.
Sixth one, Brandon Ayuk.
Well,
Pretty
I'll
good.
tell you what, your chances are pretty good. You're batting better than 50% here.
But these are first-rounders only.
Well, I'm just saying, of those first round, you've named 5, and 3 of them have panned out pretty well.
Yeah. I think you're gonna. It's still one of the more important positions you're gonna chase. That's why people are throwing.
I know, but I start to wonder: do I really need to pay Jamar Chase or Higgins all this money when I can maybe go get a dude that produces maybe at 70%, maybe only 60%, but I'm paying him 10%?
I think some of these guys are like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. You're talking about a level of guy that's.
Yeah, but where did Jefferson go? 4th pick?
He was like in the 20s.
Dude, there's smarter men than me
overall.
making these decisions. But as I see what Jamar Chase or what Higgins is about to get paid, and I know what Chase is going to get paid, I start wondering, is it really worth it?
I would not pay T. Higgins what he's about to get. I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is a product of Jamar Chase stands across the field for me. Joe Burrow throws me the football. Not that T. Higgins isn't a good player. I just think T. Higgins is about to get paid like he is a franchise-changing player, and I don't think he's.
And I'll go get my third-string guy from Texas that can run a 4 flat.
Yeah, well, got to draft him high. Apparently, got to draft him high. In the next hour of programming, we are going to get into some San Antonio Spurs conversation.
Yeah, baby, they brought the pride and the fisticuffs yesterday.
It was weird because they won a game that looked like it was going to go in typical Spurs fashion. They got out to a big lead,
screwed up,
a massive lead even.
They screwed up and won.
I know. And then they let Memphis come all the way back, only to win it at the end. Like what? And then yesterday things went back to normal. Yeah. That now we're back in the flow of the Spurs, but. We'll talk about what's going on there. In the rest of the NBA, you were mentioning before the show, the Lakers look like they are really kind of clicking all of a sudden. So plenty to discuss in the NBA and college hoops as well. Wild weekend in college hoops.
We got separation. We know who the champs are. Well, at least this weekend there were a lot of
we get into the
ones-on-ones.
The final week of regular season college basketball. And by the way, yesterday were the first conference tournament games. Austin P. Let's go P. Yeah, good win for Austin P. Suck it, North Florida. Now North Alabama is next, and they're probably going to kill Austin P. But it's still fun while it lasted. But we'll talk about the big tournament, the smaller tournaments. There's more of them starting up today. So we're in conference tournament time now as well. Although not for the big conferences just yet, but we'll get to those also. You're right. Some games in the SEC that showed some separation, and I think the University of Texas may have hit that.
Turn out the lights.
Yeah.
The party's over.
There's some games that you just have to win if you want to be taken seriously as a tournament team, and Texas they've lost 2 of those now in a row, and it's like I can't pretend to pretend like there's any reason you deserve to be in the NCAA field. And if they don't make the field with that talent, Rodney Terry has to get fired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and what'll happen is the transfer portal's going to get wide open real fast. Trey Johnson is not going to stay around, whether he goes pro.
Trey Johnson's a pro. He's gone.
But that's all you got.
Yep. And then we got UH Kansas tonight too. Ooh, will UH spank that ass? All that and much, and we'll have losers coming up in next hour as well. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding to work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stuff.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Calling all flag football fans. HEB and the Dallas Cowboys are hosting the first annual Dallas Cowboys Flag Football Classic presented by HEB. On March 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., head to the Star Soccer Complex in San Antonio to watch local youth flag football teams take the field, hang with Rowdy at the Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame trailer, and more. For more details, visit dallascowboys.com/HEB flag today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night?
Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have an accident. 35 northbound approaching Tad Booker Road, northeast side. 2 left lanes are blocked. 15-minute delay has you slow from Thousand Oaks. On 281 northbound St. Mary's, that stall now off to the shoulder. Still have a closure with police activity on 35 lower level southbound St. Mary's to Brooklyn Avenue. It's causing about a 15-minute delay slow from Walters. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Hey, they're finally home, and they came home with a little bit of fight to them, though they fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder 146-132. Deebo's a commander. Yep, got traded from the 49ers to the Washington Football Club for a 5th-rounder. In comparison, for a wide receiver, Jerry traded a 4th-rounder for Jonathan Mingo from Carolina. You be the judge. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Huddle, 94.1. Your good old friend A.J. Hoffman here with you on a lovely Monday. And my good old friend Robert Thompson to my left. Good morning, Robert.
The Robert throws me off.
Good morning,
That's
Victor.
what my mail says.
Good morning. Is that what your wife calls you when she's mad at you?
No.
You can't say that word on the radio.
When I hear Robert, I'm normally in trouble or getting served. One or the other.
And not served like a beer.
No, it's somebody with a process holding a clipboard.
Damn it.
Asking me, are you?
And I would just say, no, that you're looking for my father.
Why do you ask?
No, I'm not Robert. I'm Roberto.
No, you don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think you know how
Perfect.
white. I don't think
Come
you know.
with me, sir.
I don't think you know how white privilege works, Vic. When you do that, you just give it all away.
Yeah, I have no idea how
They
white
started
privilege
asking me for
works.
green cards. I ain't got no green card.
Rob has a gold card.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have that.
Yeah. No,
The
he's got a
$10 million gold
Yeah,
card.
laying down the dimes.
I'll say if the $10 million gold card came with free Chick-fil-A for life, now we're maybe talking.
That's
yeah.
the,
That
you know,
sounds like a good deal,
there's
yeah.
credit and then there's perks. I'll
You
take
know?
the perks.
Yeah. Like, sure, I get to be a citizen, but
Chick-fil-A for life.
Chick-fil-A
There's
for
some
life.
value there.
now you got millionaires over in Yugoslavia going, oh, no, I'm very
So
interested.
I have access to the Chick-fil-A 6 days a week, do I?
This is delicious chicken sandwich, you say. And I have one every day.
It reminds me of Squirrel back home. The way my babushka made it.
Nosferatu loves Chick-fil-A.
My accents, I don't even know what they are.
Nosferatu.
That's all I got. What's that? Nosferatu.
Nosferatu was trying to remember. He was trying to buy a house. He wanted a new house.
Well, not a new one.
Well, he
didn't really care.
He was looking for a new house, and but he needed the realtor to come to him in Transylvania.
Renfield.
I would have figured out quickly, like, hey man,
This dude's weird.
this guy's in Transylvania. He lives in a castle.
He meets me at night.
This is dangerous. You know, I don't like this. I would have left.
I haven't even
but-
gotten into the blood sucking.
Right.
And he's hung like a mule. Well, I don't even want to get into why I know that.
I mean, listen, it's all relative. I mean, he's very tall.
It's a big dude.
It probably, honestly, like, there's probably vampire ladies who saw that and were like, meh.
Well, I've seen better.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it's like, dude, you're 6'9".
He's older, and it was cold.
It was cold. I didn't have
It's cold here in the crypt.
I did not have a blanket in my crypt. What do you want from me?
Give me a second.
Oh boy, Fred's getting some Chick-fil-A for breakfast. We had QT breakfast sandwiches.
These were delicious in their own
Not
particular
bad.
idiom.
I wish they had some kind of sauce on them.
They need something else, but they do the job. You know, they have a machine that makes those. They don't like make them. I don't know how it works, but I've gone in there before and like, where are all the sandwiches? Well, the machine's out. Like the machine.
Well,
They feel like they've been individually made, but they haven't been.
that's why the eggs are perfectly round and the sausages are perfectly round and they never line up.
Not quite.
Yeah.
It was cooked good though.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I mean, we had them. I mean,
It got the job done.
I think I was just hungry.
Yeah.
I think that's part
Well,
of
I don't think it
does
was,
a good
I don't think it was
job.
particularly a special breakfast sandwich, but it did the job.
It does the job. It's not quite the Stripes breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
You're from that part of the world. You
Oh, yeah.
Lots of good. We wish we had Stripes up here serving
South, south of San Antonio, you hit up a good Stripes that has like the little taqueria
Yeah,
inside
man.
the Stripes. Those things bang, baby. Those bang. Christopher says problem is when they fire Rodney Terry, it's going to look really bad for CDC and company for not letting.
Sadly, it won't. I think that Texas has done enough. And I'm a defender. I do think that given some time that things will work out, but Texas doesn't.
It's
have
gotten
time.
worse every year since he's been there. Like
again, there's other things in play. He's kind of second fiddle, but there's enough there where they should be more successful.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that. It's not an abject failure. I think he's eminently hireable from someplace else, but this is the big time, and the success isn't there to merit any more time. Sadly.
Fred, I don't know what you type in on a typical day, but I think your autocorrect did you dirty there. It says QT has some good breastfeeding pizza with sausage and eggs. I think it meant breakfast pizza, but breastfeeding pizza maybe is just as good.
That's a different drive-through altogether.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know who Texas will go after because they're not gonna.
It'll be a name.
Oh yeah,
And
they're not gonna go small time.
And I think it should be a name from someone who has coached in the upper echelons. It needs to be somebody needs to be familiar with the pressures that be.
I think so, and like someone who's. Remember now, you're going to the toughest conference in the world to coach in now.
Can I tell you who they need to go get? Go pull Dana Altman out of Oregon. Will you get somebody go rescue him from there?
I don't know if that.
Well, the reason I bring him up is he's had success. He's a great recruiter. Texas is a Nike school. It will be an easy move. He's also coached at a place where basketball is secondary. and will always be, and has been successful. And he draws 5 stars. He makes pros, but he's in a program that he will never shine any brighter than he already has. He can come to a place in Texas and understand his place in the world as probably even 3rd, maybe 4th on the pecking order, behind a couple of women's sports and baseball. But he's coached in that kind of atmosphere before, and I think that would be a good rescue spot for Texas.
I think what they are going to do is the thing that will make the most people in Lubbock angry and hire Grant McCasland away from Texas Tech.
That would be a strategic move, but it would also, I'm not sure that Grant McCasland is ready to come coach at Texas. This is a different world here. Chris Beard was a unique situation.
Well, Grant McCasland, apparently they liked Grant McCasland.
I agree.
Earlier.
And McCasland might be born to coach at Tech. I'll just leave it at that.
I'll say this. Grant McCasland has coached for 16 years and has never had a losing record.
Well, there's the Peter principle.
Yeah, and, maybe it happens. But
I like him, but if the lightning strikes twice and they go up to Lubbock and steal yet another coach.
The other guys, I think, TJ Otzelberger, I think, is interesting.
He's a stud, and he knows the conference, and it would make a lot of sense. But if I'm Iowa State, I lose him. What do I have?
Now, what I would love, and this would be the move that Texas would not make, is Will Wade. Texas doesn't like anything that's got any kind of hint of dirtiness to it.
He's an outlaw, man. He is.
Man.
But the thing that he was known for being an outlaw for is now legal. I mean, the things that was all the stuff that he did, but there is a certain amount of outlaw to him.
But VCU, LSU, McNeese, they go to the tournament they compete when he's there. It ain't always clean and right, but they do it.
Texas needs to make pros. You need to make pro basketball players. You need to have one in the first round every other year. That's what Texas does. That is what will keep them on the map. And you need to hire a coach that will get you a first-round draft pick every other year.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Well, it's not as easy as you think because there's some tall cotton out there. The competition is now pretty stiff.
Grant McCasland has a pro in Lubbock.
I'm not.
You know what I mean?
He kind of fell ass backwards into that one. I mean, he is a baller. But I'm just saying there are certain things when you're coming to Texas that are going to be required, and one of them is you have to get somebody that's going to play in the NBA on the regular. That's just what we do. We buy tickets for that. Winning we like, but we love to tell everybody Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, and you just name the player, TJ Ford came here. That's almost more important than the success in March.
The other guy, Richard Pitino.
That guy's paid his dues. That wouldn't be a crazy hire.
He made a couple tournaments in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. He probably has to have some postseason success for Texas to really consider it.
And believe it or not, he recruits Texas pretty well.
Yeah.
He pulled a kid out of San Antonio up to Minnesota.
So, or just go hire Chris Beard. Say, you know what? Screw it. We get the guy we were supposed to have anyway. I wouldn't be mad at it now that
I wonder if Beard would say yes.
All the heat's off. It's like,
yeah. I'd have some very specific writers in my
good
contract
comeback story, man. Yeah, and remember the social climate at the time was different.
I build into my contract, I am absolutely innocent until proven guilty, and nothing can be done until that.
And remember, Chris Beard got offered the Arkansas job. He said no thanks. His name's come up in the Indiana gig.
I think that Chris Beard is destined to coach in the NBA. It's just a matter of time.
And then the other one that people always ask me about this one, I don't think it happens. Kelvin Sampson. I think they'd love that, but I think Kelvin Sampson is staying in Houston until he retires, and then his son's going to take that job.
And the thing is, Kelvin Sampson does not recruit the kind of player that I was just talking about. Kelvin Sampson recruits the kind of way that Shaka in his wildest dreams wanted to recruit, but he couldn't because he had to go get an NBA guy every year.
Yep. I don't think that happens, but, he hasn't shown any desire to want to leave Houston.
Kelvin, why the heck would you want to be? You're leaving. You're the king of your castle, man. You own that city. Why would I move to Austin and be 3rd and 4th?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He is doing okay. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about the Spurs and the Spurs inciting violence.
Just an elbow, man. You're just clearing space.
That's all.
Jules, as he is known, was just doing as he was coached.
Is this a sign of frustration? What do you think? What do you make of this? Or is this just
Yes.
okay?
My team sucks, and I'm playing a team that's at that moment we're laughing at us. I mean, we were getting easy buckets, and we were getting twos. They're getting threes. We wasted a phenomenal half from our rookie. They're laughing at us. No.
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk about that on the other side. I got to tell you guys about Cerebral, and if you ever find yourself scrolling through social media or something like that, you'll see, or watching the news, you're going to see all these terrible comments. You're going to see all the bad things happening in our world, and it's hard not to get caught up in it. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing and not how the rest of the world is doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists, doctor-prescribed medication, personalized for you. And the best part is they offer in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're having trouble managing stress, anxiety, or you want to just feel more present and focused, or you just want to sleep better, you want to perform better, whatever it is, for me, I'm going through a life transition. You know, my family's still living in Las Vegas. I've been in a new town by myself for 8 months. Sometimes you just need someone to talk things through with, man. And Cerebral can really help you there. They make mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. And like I said, they are an in-network provider, so they're working directly with your insurance plan. They're also a proud official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like these athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health just as important, and Cerebral helps you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. Take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with your insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
The Easter Bunny? He's lost his dazzle. His tail? Flatter than a pancake.
Yeah, no more poof, see?
And those eggs? They're supposed to be spiffy, colorful, full of magic, but the drab, streaky, like they've been kissed by dust bunnies.
And when the cabbage we're shelling out for eggs, they ought to be the kids' pajamas. But nope, everything's on the fritz, and we know why.
Hard water.
Nasty buildup, filmy gunk. It's giving the whole shebang the heebie-jeebies.
It needs a Kinetico. Their line electric, high-efficiency water softness make water the bee's knees. Your skin, smoother than a gangster's alibi. And eggs?
Gleaming like gold in a G-Man's pocket.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE.
It's a limited time, so hop to it, see?
License number 38961. The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sports book, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, the Combine continues out in Indianapolis. We've got all the reaction from the weekend.
We'll react to what the Spurs did over the weekend as well, including De'Aaron Fox's first game in San Antonio.
How about that? The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wesley says Jailbird Beard is a great fit for a second run at Texas. He says Big Mac ain't leaving Tech. Listen, Tech fan, I'm old enough to remember when Tech fan thought there was zero chance Chris Beard was going to leave Texas Tech for Texas. Zero chance. And then he left for Texas, and they were all shocked. Tech fan couldn't believe it. But that is life as little brother, I'm afraid.
I would, knowing that if I'm Tech, if they don't build in massive buyouts.
But again, Texas doesn't care about buyouts.
Well, no, but but if I'm Tech, I profit by this. I know in full well.
That's what you need to do.
I just know if when Texas comes calling, especially and only Texas, if you go while you're employed by me, it's double. And I build that in. And if they want you, come on.
Honestly, I would do that if I'm any school in Texas not named Texas. I would do it in every single sport.
Well,
because they are going to try and take your people.
Well,
like,
I mean,
if you have some success.
A&M's taking TCU. I mean, we all poach, but there's your arch rival. You go, this can't happen. I'm not going to let this happen.
They're also they're the flagship program in the state. They're
in some sport. Yeah, I get it. But every school poaches, and you can build into your contract. Look,
but you
man,
don't want them to poach.
Go there, you're going to pay double. I'm going to profit by their profitability. I'm going to take their money. So,
I don't think TCU. I mean, I'm sure TCU didn't like A&M poaching their coach, but they didn't look at it the same way they would if Texas poached him. Like, there's some sort of bitterness towards Texas that every school in Texas has.
It's the wallet.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day, it's the wallet.
But A&M's got a huge wallet too. But even with A&M, it doesn't feel like it's apples to apples. Like if I'm Texas Tech and I lose somebody to A&M, it's like, well, that sucks.
Well,
but it doesn't feel like.
Well, I think Tech would be the absolute worst example for that for Tech and A&M because being on both sides of that fence, Tech has an unusual hatred for A&M.
Okay.
Because most of them couldn't get in, honestly. And when I was at Tech, I didn't realize that. But in hindsight, you're right. There is the hatred for Texas that is more so. And I think that Lubbock, at least the AD, if there's a new AD, I just build in the firewall. Yes, I understand that Texas will come calling, that I will grow things that they're going to want. And I just build in the fact that if you choose there, you can go, but it's going to cost twice as much. And it's the Texas rider that I build in.
I would do it for if I'm Rice, I would do it. If I'm North Texas, I do it. Every school in Texas should have that written in their contract.
The fact of the matter is, as the AD that signed the contract, I hope it works out for you. I want you to be so successful that Texas is willing to pay out double to get you. That means I did a good job too. So I hope it works out.
B. Hannon says UH lost Herman, Briles, and Sumlin. You're right, but they were the most mad about losing Tom Herman. And he was probably the worst of the three coaches, but they were most mad about losing him because they lost him to Texas.
And I think from that point on, that you notice the kind of coach that Houston hires. They won't be that. I think for Tita and that crew, they're never going to hire the hot young coach again. They're going to hire the Fritz dude from
Dana
Tulane.
Holgorsen.
That has that's it, man. Houston is their highest aspiration.
Yeah.
They don't plan on going anywhere. They don't have that much longer to coach.
Or a guy who's on the downslope like Holgorsen was.
Yeah, they're never going to be caught in a situation where they hire Colt McCoy. What was the former Texas quarterback that was at Houston? Which one was it?
Major Applewhite.
They're never going to do that again.
No.
Whether they're not going to roll the dice on a young hot coach that either sucks or gets stolen by Texas. That will never happen to them again. They're burned.
Christopher says, what I heard from people who actually cover UT is trying to raise money, and CDC might not want to pay 2 buyouts and pay for a new coach. I don't think he would. This isn't Texas money that would pay it. It would be boosters, donors that
don't ever when.
Money's not
money
an object
is
for
never
them.
a thing. It's you couldn't fire Jimbo because the buyout was too big. I mean,
until it's like,
you
okay,
gotta do
that's
it.
enough. We got to get out of here.
So,
you can't do what Rodney Terry's doing at a school with the talent that they have.
There's just not enough time.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm. You don't get the time, the luxury of that. And it hasn't helped that the women's program has been remarkably successful. The football program is remarkably successful. The baseball team continues to roll, and basketball is lagging behind. And that's a flagship sport. That's a thing that your fans see on TV once a week around the country, and they're getting their ass kicked by their rivals. It's just one of those things you got to fix.
And Wesley says, here's something you're missing, Rob. Tech has 3 billionaires pumping in major money, best facilities.
That guy that just sold his company,
they've got money, but they don't have Texas money. They don't have Texas A&M money.
As much as they have it, they don't got it. They're running with the Joneses, but they ain't the Joneses. You know what I mean?
And like I said, man, every Texas Tech fan thought there was zero chance Chris Beard was leaving. At some point,
But there was,
and listen,
this guy was at Texas. He had coached there before. Tech dude is just a really good young coach.
Yeah,
there's a little bit
He's
of
not
a
even
difference.
a young coach.
Well,
He's a good
mid-level
coach.
rising coach is what I'm getting at. Tech should have seen it coming with Chris Beard. That was obvious. And A&M should have seen it coming with Schlossnagle. They should have known his best friend is the AD at Texas. It's gonna happen. But you've got to read your tea leaves and know if we hire this cat, his allegiance will always be to Austin.
But it is, and this isn't right or wrong, because Texas Tech historically is a better basketball program, especially recent history, than Texas is.
Yeah.
But
they're about equal, but yeah.
But Texas is still a better job because your ceiling is higher there. Like, you're going to get better players come to Austin, Texas than you will to go to Lubbock.
Yeah, but that's in the eye of the beholders. There's certainly a lot of coaches out there that love the idea of being the man in a college town, having the membership to the country club, being the honored guest at everything that the city does. There's a certain amount of I'm the dude in you name the college town that can never be matched to going. Now, Austin, you get the glitz and the glamour, and you become a kind of a face in the crowd. You're not front and center. You never will be. So there's dudes that aspire. The best I could ever be is the stud in Lubbock,
But there is something to, they're offering, and if I could get a Kevin Durant or a LaMarcus Aldridge or a Trey Johnson, a guy that I'm never going to get in Lubbock, Texas. You're never going to get that guy there.
There is the aspiration that I don't necessarily want him. because
Dude, coaches want that.
I
can't believe
think coaches
you, Rob.
want to win.
You know Jimmy's and Joe's at the end of the day.
Yes, but you're right. But they're now in this day and age, sometimes the taste isn't worth the cost. And because I can go find some seniors that might do everything I ask instead of a freshman that will do none of what I ask and be gone at the end of the year, I'll win more consistently with seniors that have other places. And Lubbock will put up with that. They'll just win. Austin, on the other hand, I just watched the draft. I didn't see any of those boys going in the number 1 pick. I didn't see that. There's a little bit of, you got to bring the Jimmys and Joes to Austin. You don't got to bring them to Lubbock. You just got to win.
Well, with Texas, they're getting – and once you have one KD show up, more and more Texas has first-rounders every year.
It dries up, though.
But then they're also getting guys like Arthur Kaluma to transfer in. They're getting Caden Shedrick to transfer in. Like, they're getting experienced guys to transfer in on top of that. Who's the kid from Houston? Tremont Mark, who left Houston to go play at Texas.
Well, the thing about Tremont was he left because he couldn't get any playing time. So there was he should be better. I was a Terry fan, but the kind of guys that Terry wants are the kind of guys that Texas fan isn't that excited about. I mean, so you got a transfer from Houston that couldn't start. You got a bunch of dudes that have you got one dude that this is his 6th team in 5 years on your roster. So, we have more expectations in Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a better job. It's just a different job. It's what you're chasing. Because what's the difference between 8 and 10 million? I mean, Tech's probably making $4 million if he's successful. And that's starting in Lubbock. I mean, in Austin. You start at 5, and you rise from there. I think it's a prime job, but it's a prime job for a select few.
Yeah.
I mean, you really got to be a man with a thick skin and a nice safety net because you're never going to be first choice, first priority in any meeting.
All right. Let's we were talking about this. I wanted to talk about the Spurs some. How much do you was the Memphis thing? Was that a mistake? Did they mean to win the game? What are we doing
remember
here?
When we saw them first? The first game that we saw Memphis show up this year, we went and saw them because we wanted to see Ja. And what did we see in that game? Memphis came with the one game part of the game plan. We're going to beat the crap out of Wemby. We're going to start with Edie, and we're going to come with Jaren Jackson. We're going to backside help, and we're going to force Wemby and crew to beat us from the free throw line. So they played a very physical game and whooped us.
Yeah.
Then they did it again and whooped us. We didn't have Wemby this time, but I guarantee you the Spurs looked at game film and said, you know how they beat us before? Is they bodied us. They got into
Bullied
us.
Yeah.
And they weren't ready to take any crap. And the first time Champagne threw that elbow up, you saw Sohan was ready to go. So I think there's a little bit of payback to it. There's a little bit, we're glad we're home. And there's a little bit of, we're not just Wemby. At some point, guys got to stand up tall and go, we're all pros here, too. We got to go win a basketball game. So I think that all combined a little bit of violence on a Pride night.
A little bit of frustration.
Probably 100% of frustration.
And Mitch, do I have my make sure I got my sound here as I talk off microphone, as like a real pro does. They always mess with my page here. Mitch talks about Julian getting ejected.
And it happens so much now in our game. I don't know. It feels like the rule has changed maybe, but when people are aggressive, there's a lot of these incidental elbows or contact. I don't really know who's at fault, to be honest, but it just looked like that was what initiated it, and then there was some response on both ends. I didn't think much of it, and then people were just protecting their guys and whatnot, but I didn't think it was anything intentional and I didn't look at the scrum to see if they should have got thrown out or not. But the initial basketball play I did see and just looked like Kendrick Williams was being aggressive and Julian was opening up. And I don't know if that's an offensive foul now. I don't know where that line is of what space you're allowed. So
in 1995, it's not.
Yeah.
In 2025, it is. He did.
I don't know who's at fault. Yeah, you do.
Jules did what you're coached to do. If a guy bows up on you and gets right in your personal space, you are allowed to clear space with the ball. That is inside the rules. Now, you're not allowed to lead with your elbow to a chin, but sometimes the chin is in the way. He did exactly as anything I was ever coached. That being said, that is a personal foul. That is a technical foul every time you get caught. You can't hit somebody with an elbow in the jaw. You just can't do it.
What do you think of what do you think Mitch's mindset is? As we, I don't want to say wrap up the season. There's still plenty of time left, but as the season continues to kind of, maybe circle the drain is maybe the right term. What do you think Mitch is feeling about his future with the Spurs?
We had that reports of the very emotional meeting last Thursday or Friday when the Spurs
about
were making that pit stop. If you're Mitch Johnson, you see that. You know more than anybody what the progress is probably going to look like. I would like to think that Mitch is working under some sort of understanding, whatever that understanding is, because it is very apparent that, and should be, that he's not going to be the coach next year. Now, it might be Pop again. I have 99% doubt that that'll be it. So he's working under a very interesting circumstance because he's not going to be back. I can't imagine how. The team is losing, and they're looking bad doing it. He's playing lineups that most of us don't agree with, whether it's Vassell starting or Chris Paul starting or in the mix. So it's got to be kind of tough to be Coach Johnson today. It really does.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's feeling good about his place in the pecking order, because you and I have talked about it. Probably the best thing to do for the Spurs, if Greg Popovich doesn't come back, is kind of do a hard reset and go outside of your culture. Because I keep hearing, I know you've said, the thought is maybe Manu could be the coach or Tony Parker or one of these guys. I still think the best thing they can do is find someone who's not a Spurs guy and almost like New England had to do, finally say, okay, we're clearing house. We're getting away from anything to do with Brady or Belichick. We got to figure something else out.
I get that sense. Now, you don't want to do a radical change. And the Spurs have enough dudes that have left and gone to a variety of positions around the league, from general manager to assistant to coach and all of that. That whoever they do hire will be close enough to the fam. Might not be a cousin, but a first cousin. That we'll know enough about the corporate knowledge that's required to be a Spur coach to step in and understand it. But I'm with you. I do think that this line in the Coach Pop tree has run its course, that we do need an injection of what the future of the NBA will look like. And I don't know what that is, whether it's Becky, whether it's some new scheme or plan, or whether it's just a young dude that played in the league recently that just gets along with Wemby. And at the end of the day, I think that's going to be the overriding thing. Who's going to be best for Wemby over the next 5 years?
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at who were the big losers this weekend. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We still have a closure due to police activity downtown. On 35 lower level, southbound St. Mary's to Brooklyn Avenue is closed. Traffic is stopped from Walters. I-10 eastbound Hagberry Pine Street, wreck right lane, and 35 northbound approaching Pat Booker Road, northeast side of town. That wreck has 2 left lanes blocked, almost a 30-minute delay. That backup starts at Thousand Oaks. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why My Lowe's Rewards is free to join and lets you unlock member-only deals, earn points towards My Lowe's money, and more. Join for free today. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms, subject to change.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Hey, Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. The second half of the basketball season is here. The race to playoffs is on, and there's no better time to get Prize Picks because the money, it's heating up. 1,000 times your cash, Taco Tuesdays, and the way they pay. Let me tell you, Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your accounts. There's no better way to get started with Prize Picks than right now as basketball season ends. And here's the best thing about Prize Picks is you can combine different leagues. You got a favorite in the pros, you got a favorite in the college, you can put them together to really maximize your bets. And remember the code ALAMO. Remember, you download that when you sign up today. There's money to be had. No better place than Prize Picks right now. As the basketball season winds down, go for the place to get the best cash with your favorite sports. That's Prize Picks. You know what you're doing. Go play. In fact, go run your game.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and port in on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You.
Who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If I could just crash here tonight. Oh.
We need a Gin Blossoms tribute band.
There's a Gin Blossoms concert happening at the WinStar in Oklahoma I want to go to. It's the Gin Blossoms and Blues Traveler and the Spin Doctors. I loved the Spin Doctors when I was a kid. They sang a song about having a bitchy stepmom. And I had a bitchy stepmom, so it was. I felt it. I was. They were my spirit animal for a little while. Little miss, can't be wrong.
Did they have a follow-up? Or was that it?
I got a pocket full of kryptonite.
Oh, that's them too? Yeah, okay, so they had two. All right, that's worthy.
I think they had one more big hit, too. I can't remember what their third hit was. That one was called, like, oh, yeah, this is Two Princes. That was their biggest hit.
This is the 90s, man.
Oh, yes. This is the one.
The Windstar, you say?
Oh, yes.
And you can't beat a guy who has like 19 harmonicas in a bandolier vest.
Right.
I
see
like
that guy show up.
Maybe a banjo.
The hook brings you back. Like that song's about nothing. Yeah, been a whole lot easier since that bitch left town. That's right.
That's funny. I never actually thought about the lyrics.
Yeah. Oh, I hated my stepmom. She holds a shotgun while you said do. Man. Since bitch is gone. Little miss, can't be wrong. Little miss, can't be wrong.
This guy's almost as good as NXS.
Oh, these guys are way better than NXS.
I don't know, man. I think of record sales, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the lead singer from Spin Doctors didn't kill himself, so.
He didn't?
Wow.
No. That's how you know NXS sucked. That guy looked at his life one day and said, God.
Went out with a bang, not a whimper.
My music sucks. I kill myself. And then he did.
Well, he was doing other
and that's
things.
what happened.
I don't know that that rumor you heard is true.
I think it's true.
I mean, I guess it is
I
up for debate.
It to be, and that's what I want it to be.
Up for debate.
I'm not alone. Any of the Brigade Bar who might be of my age. Isn't there the urban rumor that...
but I think that's what it is. It's
Michael
an urban
Hutchins
legend. It's a myth.
Pleasuring himself.
I don't think he was nude when found... I don't know. We don't have crime scene photos, though.
I guess we'll never know.
The Australian press, they don't leak things the way we do. All right, Vic, let's take a look at who were the big losers this weekend.
So if
you lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser. I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
I'll start. There's two guys who I think really lost themselves some money at the Combine this week. And first, I'll start with the guy whose name you're probably more familiar with, Will Howard, who, won the national title at Ohio State. People are real excited about him. There's a buzz all of a sudden that they didn't really have going on before the playoffs, but he had such a good run that it was like, well, maybe this guy is a pro. Well, apparently, he was so bad at the Combine that he was getting booed. When you're getting booed at the Combine because you can't complete simple passes,
he was
it's
in Indiana. I mean, he's in hostile territory. I'm just saying. Now, he's not J.J. McCarthy, but I've never heard of fans booing a dude at the Combine.
Shedeur Sanders had to come out and say, guys, he didn't have his best day, but, he's out there doing his best. He didn't have, I mean, it's embarrassing. The other guy, and the guy who really, I think, probably lost millions of dollars last week, Will Campbell from LSU, who almost every mock draft we've been talking about has Will Campbell as the top left tackle prospect. Well, once they got in there and measured him, they measured he has 32-inch arms, 32 and 5/8 inch long arms, which is about
standard dude.
Yeah, he's got a huge body and then normal person arms.
T-Rex arms.
And they're saying he's now being viewed as more of a high-end guard prospect instead of a cornerstone franchise left tackle. High-end guard prospect does not make the same kind of money or get drafted where cornerstone left tackle gets drafted. So, I mean, it's no fault of Will Howard or Will Campbell that he was born with, arms too short for his giant body, but it is going to cost him.
I find it interesting that on the game film that you've watched, you didn't notice his arms were a bit short, that the defenders could get to his chest, that they could grab a hold of his jersey, which for anybody who's ever watched these guys, it's hand-to-hand combat, and the length of your arms matters.
And it's one thing to be able to get the job done in college, but in the NFL, everybody's really good. And
that's where you go, there was nothing to be gained. Although the measuring him was going to happen at some point. All right, that sucks. That really does suck that they managed to hide it. Are you a bigger fan of the JL or the ADG?
I don't know what those things are.
So you're not a bigger fan of the Atlanta Drive Club over the Jupiter Links Club? Which one do you prefer?
Still don't know what those are.
Do you like the Bay Club or the LAGC? Which fan? What? That's the TGL.
Huh?
That's the golf league. That's the thing that
video game
all
golf.
those when you're watching college basketball and every other commercial, they're showing your favorite golfer playing video games.
Yes,
that's the TGL, and almost 300,000 people have watched the TGL last week.
3,000, you said?
300, which was actually ESPN's pretty happy with the ratings, despite how bad they have truly been. Because as bad as the TGL is, and trust me, they had maxed out at about 285. That's 200,000 people on a Monday night. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
This is as bad as ESPN has had in prime time since
the Westminster Dog Show.
No, women's college basketball last year. So at least
women's college basketball last year was like that was the hottest college. So maybe they're thinking it's a good thing.
No, this has been an abject failure. Even Tigers coach, remember Hank Haney?
Hank Haney, yeah.
Hank Haney came out and said, I watch this. It's okay, but I get the fact that people don't like it.
No.
So even the guys that are behind are like, yeah, it's kind of fun, but I kind of get that it's kind of dull.
And how much money do you think they've invested in that thing?
My gosh, this is just an abject, absolute, colossal failure.
Yeah.
They haven't found their niche. It's too much like fun, but they're treating it like it matters. You're going to have to go one way or the other, and it's never going to matter anybody when you're hitting into a video screen. So you're either going to have to go full-on fun and hijinks, or you're going to have to find another way to make this super competitive and compelling to tune in, because this mix of both, it doesn't bring anybody in.
I'm going to go with some fan bases as the losers, some collegiate fan bases. One is the Texas A&M college baseball fan base. We don't talk college baseball on this program for very good reason. But if you are telling people to kill themselves because they lost a college baseball game, you are probably a bigger problem than the team that's losing college baseball games. And the fact that players have to come out and say, hey, man, let's not act a fool on social media. You're not being very good sporting Aggies, I don't think, on the internet.
Yeah, I've seen these things.
And Kansas basketball fan, listen, I know you're not used to losing basketball games. I know you're used to the refs bailing you out at home and always finding a way to win. But Zeke Mayo, who, let's face it, Zeke Mayo had a pretty terrible game against Texas Tech.
He jacked up an air ball to close the game out. That might have been one of the dumbest shots of the year.
He was bad.
God.
A bunch of turnovers. It was one of his worst games of the season, but he's been one of the only bright spots for this Kansas team that's been bad. He's a hometown dude. Like
he is.
He transferred there from either, I think it was North Dakota State or South Dakota State last year. South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. And he's a 14-5 guy. Like he's been a very solid player for them. And because he had a bad game, mind you, a regular season game, like this didn't knock Kansas out of the tournament, and he's getting racial slurs and people sending photos of nooses to him. It's like, what are we doing, college basketball fan? Let's calm down. You lost a game. It's not the end of the world. Who are these people that are going after these athletes when they have a bad day? It's absurd.
I wonder how much of it is just trolls.
Of course.
I mean, that non-Kansas fan who adopted some kind of Kansas Jayhawk nickname moniker just to go blow him up, because That is so outlandish from Kansas fan. And it's outlandish from Aggie fan, too. I mean, that's just unforgivable stuff. And if it's just one, shame on you guys. Just shame. I mean, you have to take it upon yourselves to block that kind of crap.
Well, that's why they're losers, Rob.
Yeah, that's why we do this kind of thing. That's why we do it. All right, I'll take one. The Phoenix Suns.
Oh, that was mine. Yeah, hey, I
don't
like
know.
it.
There's so many different areas to be mad at. Is it Matt Ishbia, who's now probably going to have 4 coaches in 4 years?
Yep.
Is it him? Is it Kevin Durant, who even by his best efforts when he's trying to be a good dude just can't help but undermine his team? I can't quite figure out what's going on. But the Phoenix Suns fans are screwed. They're dealing with losers at every angle. They got a player who doesn't want to be there. 3 players that are way overpaid and don't want to be there. You're headed toward your 4th coach in 4 years and a salary load that you cannot get out from underneath. Very quietly, Matt Ishbia, who looked like a savior, when he bought this team, looked like he was here to help, has turned this into a laughingstock. I mean, this is L.A. Clippers in the 90s kind of stuff. 4 coaches in 4 years, and we could go even further back. Keep in mind, Monty Williams, the guy that took it to some kind of success, is now coaching a high school team here in San Antonio.
Yeah, 40 points off of turnovers in that game is what they allowed.
God, that's a team that doesn't care.
No, it's wild what's happening. And Kevin Durant's like, we've all got to be better. This was embarrassing, and it is embarrassing. But to me, it goes back to I still can't get past. And you knew there was going to be dysfunction for the rest of the season. The minute the Sun said we're open to trading Kevin Durant, and then they didn't trade him, it's like, oh,
now you can't do that.
What have you done, dude? What have you done? It's better to do it the way the Lakers and the Mavericks did it, where no one can possibly know what's going on, and you trade that guy in the dark of night, and then wake up and be like, "Hey, man, we blindsided you." What you can never ever do is say, "Yeah, we're willing to trade KD for frickin' Jimmy Butler," and then it doesn't work out, and now you've got KD back. Dude, this is a dysfunctional place right now.
I am looking.
It's a mess.
If you're a Suns fan, starting in 2016, your head coach was Earl Watson. In 2017, your head coach was Jay Triano. In 2018, your head coach was Igor Koskakov.
That's a made-up person.
Then you hit the jackpot, the gold mine. Monty Williams for 4 years, coach of the year in 21. Then Frank Vogel. Then Mike Budenholzer. And then the next. That's a coach every year and a half.
Yeah.
2 different owners, obviously, but this is you couldn't be a more poorly run organization today. They're the worst run organization in all of professional sports.
Losers. All right, friends, 1 hour to go. We're going to give away some Mellow Mushroom gift card action in the next hour. We got plenty of fun and frivolity to come. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
With spring just around the corner, wouldn't it be great if you could upgrade your space? Well, Macy's is here for you. It's your last chance to catch our President's Day sale with big savings on what you need to refresh your home. Think 20 to 40% off new furniture, like our exclusive Radley sectional, now $21.99. And take 30 to 60% off a new mattress from Hotel Collection, Serta, and more, so you can sleep better. Hurry into Macy's before this weekend is over, because our President's Day sale ends Sunday. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's time for the herd you love. It's time for professional spring football. The San Antonio Brahmas are back, bringing you more of the action, the celebration, and the unforgettable moments you love. Join us for our home opener Sunday, April 27th at 2 when the Brahmas bring the Fiesta to the gridiron with our Viva Fiesta, Viva Brahmas themed game. Bring the energy to the Alamo Dome as your San Antonio Brahmas take on the Houston Roughnecks. Tickets on sale now at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account and ported on $60 plan. First service charge, tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Sell your car to America's best car buyer. GiveMeTheVin.com, and you may be the one that gets an extra $25,000 in your pocket. We are giving away $25,000 to a random person that sells their car to GiveMeTheVin.com in the month of March. GiveMeTheVin.com, big cash giveaway. You can't afford not to try it.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-660-1771. That's 800-660-1771. 800-660-1771.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We still have a closure due to police activity downtown. On 35 lower levels, southbound St. Mary's to Brooklyn Avenue is closed. Traffic is stopped from Walters. I-10 eastbound Hagberry Pine Street, wreck right lane, and 35 northbound approaching Pat Booker Road, northeast side of town. That wreck has 2 left lanes blocked, almost a 30-minute delay. That backup starts at Thousand Oaks. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Hey, they're finally home, and they came home with a little bit of fight to them, though they fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder 146-132. Deebo's a commander. Yep, got traded from the 49ers to the Washington Football Club for a 5th rounder. In comparison, for a wide receiver, Jerry traded a 4th rounder for Jonathan Mingo from Carolina. You be the judge. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Centergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4 of the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob taking you home. Well, probably taking you to work. Or maybe you should be at work already. It's 9 o'clock, friend. You get to work.
Well, maybe you're working a hybrid.
Maybe you work 9 to 5 like Dolly Parton.
Do you ever know anybody that worked that schedule? Do you know anybody that ever worked 9 to 5?
No, 8 to 5.
It's 8 to 5. What part of the world, at what time?
Oh, wait, my doctor's office. 9 to
Well,
5.
9 to 5.
And bankers, maybe.
9 to 5 if you don't get a lunch break.
Well, you have to get a lunch break.
Not when you're in the coal mines.
Well, I think legally they got to give you an hour every 3, right?
I
Or
don't
15 minutes every 3. And
At least
something
an
like
hour
that.
a day.
Not
But
when,
I never
not
knew
when
anybody.
Dolly wrote that song.
I was led astray. As a child, I was led to believe that 9 to 5 would be the working time.
Well,
And it was a good song, but a lie nonetheless.
we don't need to work 9 to 5. We work more like 5 to 9. Although a
In
little
the
bit.
wrong A.
Yeah.
With that A in
Yeah.
front. Although Sunday or Saturday night, Sunday, we're springing forward.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, this week.
I don't know if is that good or not good.
Sucks. You lose an hour. I mean, you get sunlight at night. So for those of us that look forward to,
I don't like
more
sunlight
I
at
know
night.
it gets in the way of a lot of stuff. So, but for most people, I think would choose this one, the spring forward, and just keep that year round. I think most people would agree.
I don't care which one we keep. I just want to keep one.
Whatever it is, yeah. But
I'm
it's
all
going
right
to be
with that.
dark till about 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning for the next couple of weeks.
There was some big action, lots of action in college basketball this weekend. We talked about the disappointment that was Texas basketball, and we talked a little about the success that Texas Tech basketball had this weekend with a win at Kansas, the second win ever for Texas Tech at Fog. Doesn't
The
happen
combination
often.
of Kansas is just really awful this year. They're just
They really are.
some dudes, but not enough. And that combination of a Tech that's just battle tested. They're as tough as anybody in the country. Not as talented. They've got some. They got good guards and they got a go-to, and that's enough.
Yeah.
That was a great win for Tech. Great win.
But there was some other big games over the weekend. Auburn dismantled Kentucky.
They're so good. They just come at you in waves, and they're 7 deep. There's 7 dudes that just doesn't matter who's on the court.
I keep seeing Auburn and Duke or the Field. Give me Auburn or Houston versus the Field, and I think I'd take Auburn and Houston. That's my exacta box.
I haven't left the Florida bandwagon yet.
Well, Florida had a good game as well. They took care of Aggie 89-70.
Aggies are trending the wrong way.
They
man.
really are.
You can't shoot. It's paying the price. And, Tennessee, the other team I said can't shoot, they're finding the right dude at the right time, and that's going to be enough.
Yeah, they trailed most of that game against Alabama and hit almost a half-court shot. All I know is they were running it up the floor, and Rick Barnes was trying to get a timeout called, and they said as soon as the shot leaves his hand, you see Rick Barnes put his head in his hands like, ugh.
That's the kind of win for Tennessee that will catapult
And then it went
you.
in.
But that win will catapult you to 2 more because they shouldn't have won that game. And they stayed competitive and they stayed in it with their heart and soul, and Ziegler spending most of the time watching. They had to find other dudes to fill in some spots. It was a home win, and they were riding a wave, and they beat a very good Alabama team. They're still not as good as Alabama. Alabama's better. But the fact is they won that game, and they did it the right way. I've never seen a conference, or at least it's been 20 years since I've watched the SEC. It is just there are 6 teams that all could lay claim to a national title. All of them have a chance. 6 of them.
Auburn, Florida, Bama, Tennessee. Who else? Who else you liking?
I like Missouri. The Missouri, when they're putting things together, they look pretty darn good. I was going to say A&M would be that 6th, and a week ago, no, but they bring enough grit to kind of scare you to get someplace, but maybe 5 would be the more appropriate.
Mizzou losing to Vanderbilt and Arkansas, their last couple, is concerning.
Yeah, they're not. But, that is a team that up until 3 weeks ago hadn't lost a home game and had beaten every top 20 team they'd played. And Arkansas has got as much 5-star talent as anybody, though they're not smart enough to go very far.
What I do know is you got 2 1 seeds at least, and probably 2 2 seeds at least, not 3 and 1.
And think about what the conference tournament's going to look like when you've got those 6 teams or 5 teams coming down to the close. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah. God, it ain't going to get any easier for Texas A&M.
No. The good news is A&M and all those other teams, they're in the tourney. I mean, now A&M's now probably sitting at looking at a 6-7 seed. The worst case, they'll probably fall to about an 8 or 9. I don't think they'll fall any lower than that.
No, I don't think so. The analytics still like A&M, but they've got to play Auburn now.
They got to find their stroke, and they got to reevaluate who they are, because I think there's some hero ball going on.
And we have seen the games that A&M plays against teams that can score get ugly, and Auburn is the best offense in the country.
Oh,
I mean, it does it. So that's the thing about A&M. They rely so heavily on offensive rebounding, but Auburn's not going to just give you easy boards.
No, they rip and run, man. The ball doesn't – there's no waiting. They're sending 3 to the glass every time, and you got to do that against A&M. You're going to have 3 crashing and maybe sometimes 4, or you're not going to get a defensive rebound.
And quite frankly, Auburn's just as good defensively as A&M is. They're just
bigger.
have
not bigger. They are much more mobile on the edge. A&M's just big in the paint. A&M's a top 25 team. They ain't Auburn.
No.
I mean, they're not even close, but who is?
No, not many. Who else was the other games this weekend that were
I
of
loved
note?
what I saw from Illinois. Illinois,
yesterday,
when fully functioning, is really, really good.
Yeah, that was an impressive showing. And yeah, I guess that's about it of the teams that really matter. Oh, Iowa State beat the snot out of Arizona, and what you saw in this was you saw a healthy Iowa State, and when Iowa State is healthy, Keyshawn Gilbert wasn't great, but him being on the floor it creates a gravity, and they just smoked Arizona.
A hot Arizona team. That was not an easy win.
And Iowa State they make all their shots at home. They were 11 of 21 from 3. If they only played their games at Hilton, they would be the best 3-point shooting team in the country.
And had their 2 best dudes playing. That is the biggest and they're not a dark horse, but as we round into tournament time, let's not forget what Iowa State was 3 weeks ago when they had all 5 players. And the other kid that isn't all the way back, not the one you just talked about, to me is such a defensive stopper. If I'm Iowa State, I rest that kid till I get in the tournament, because that's where they're going to make their gravy.
Yeah,
I don't chase a conference title or anything in the Big 12. Just be healthy.
God, good luck beating Houston anyway.
Yeah, just be healthy. I'm not you're in the tournament. Don't sacrifice. I'd sacrifice seeding, and I'd even sacrifice a flight to make sure everybody was healthy and ready to go.
And we have a good one tonight. Houston is taking on Kansas, and 2 teams that are kind of headed in opposite directions.
There is not a number there that I wouldn't go against Texas. I like the under. I mean, I like the under. I like Houston. I mean,
it's 9.5 points is the number.
I think they're probably 15 better. I mean, we saw what Tech just did, and Tech, while very gritty, it's really just one guy.
Yeah, but you know what? I go back to when Kansas played Houston the first time. This was in It was in Houston. No, it was at Kansas. It was at Kansas because it's at Houston tonight. But Kansas had them beat, and Houston hit a miracle shot to send it to overtime, and then they won in overtime. Now you're saying they're going to beat them by double digits?
I think that they're going to beat them by double digits.
Listen, I've said before, I'm not in the business of fading Houston because they will
at home.
They want to make you look bad when they get a chance to, and they probably have a good chance to tonight. So good weekend in college hoops, and this is our last regular season week of college hoops. Most of these teams playing, they'll play the power teams are playing their last regular season games on Saturday, and then we'll have everything lined up when we get back to work next Monday. We'll know all the conference tournament setups and. We'll be a week from Selection Sunday.
Yeah, for those of you that
go time, baby,
that care about such things and don't carry devices to work, it's time to start planning your sick days as we get closer to conference tournament time and the beginning of March Madness.
Claymore does mention that the Lady Horns and the Lady Cocks decided who would be the one seed.
So wanted this to happen.
The coin flip?
No, you just wanted to be able to say that Carolina was there.
Well, yeah. Are you talking about the lady?
I don't think they go.
The Lady Gamecocks.
That's okay.
What?
Nothing. You just wanted to say it. You were just so eger. That's the only reason. It was coming.
What are you even talking about?
Saying, I don't think they go by that term.
Okay. Well, maybe they. I don't know. You just think they just call them the Gamecocks, the regular Gamecocks, or the Lady Gamecocks?
I don't know. It's an unfortunate term all the way around, but I don't think Lady Cox is the. I don't think that's the one they went with.
Okay. You don't think their jerseys say that?
It makes for a very difficult cheer.
It'd be funny if that was on their jerseys.
Stand up and cheer
for your lady.
This makes for a very difficult
But the story of it is they had to flip a coin to decide who was the one seed between Texas and South Carolina.
Why?
I don't
know what would be a tiebreaker there, because you don't want to play another game.
What's the tiebreaker in
I don't
the
know.
men's game?
Somebody's going to have to tell me, but I mean, I don't want to play another one, and I 1v2, you're still a 2 seed, so it's not that big of a loss.
I think you go to like strength of record, or
you tell me what you agree on. Sure, I mean, coin flip.
You can't do
seems
that.
So I'd rather have it on merit, and let's just choose maybe the team with the most charges. I don't know.
Now, what they did have was they had a halftime show, because halftime of the LSU Ole Miss game, they had Greg Sankey flipping the coin, and like apparently everyone was tuned into it.
Oh, they were?
I was, and I missed it. But yeah, I don't know like whether it's if they split 2 games, like if they split the season series, like okay, well, what was the scoring margin?
Maybe,
Who had
scoring differential.
Anything like
anything.
There's a million things that you've done on the floor over the course of the year that should happen before you get to coin toss. Coin toss should be like 25th tiebreaker.
So you can decide a women's basketball game on penetrations.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's rare in the women's game.
It's really. I'm just trying to work the rules out, but you're right.
It's rare in the women's game.
You can't call it on penetrations.
No. But either way, the Lady Cox did win the coin flip, and they are the 1 seed. Texas is now the 2 seed in the SEC tournament in Greenville, South Carolina.
Back in the
Greenville.
I think it's full.
I think it's Greenville. What have you never been to South Carolina, Vic?
Nope. Don't go down to South Carolina.
I don't go to them parts.
Don't go down there.
I'm smart.
I don't go for South Carolina.
That's some good low country grub, man. I'll meet you in Charleston. I'll eat my way through that town.
I drove through there, though, I think. Yeah, I think I drove through there.
Dawn Staley, the South Carolina coach, said, "We watched in the locker room, and it was kind of exciting. I know when you're part of the equation, it doesn't feel good to have your fate in a coin flip. True. I didn't know 8 other sports use a coin flip. That was news to me. I feel better about it now. I didn't know 8 other teams used it either. I can't believe that anyone is still using it. It's absurd.
We need to fix that. I think that we can all agree that this is the worst possible way.
Coin flips only for who's getting the ball during the game.
Even then, I mean, the coin flip, I don't even think you need to do that.
No. Texas is, like I said, Texas is going to be the 2 seed, and 3rd seeded LSU, which could face Texas in the semifinals, will be without star, and I use that term loosely, Floje Johnson for the tournament with a shin injury. She's averaging 18.9 points per game.
Sounds like a star to me.
I just never heard her name before today, so like
Floje.
You got me too.
Like
I hadn't heard that. I'm not acting like I'm down.
I don't watch lady basketball, but I don't know her name.
18 a night, I feel like I should know her name.
Like I don't watch soccer, but you say Messi, I go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know that name. That's a star.
I'll clean it up.
But Floje Johnson?
Neymar.
I don't know. I don't know a Floje. I don't go for Floje.
I like the name though.
Why didn't you name your kid Floje?
I will.
That's you. That's one of those names that it could be. I don't know. Like you were saying that if you had a girl, you were going to give her a ambiguous.
Could be a girl. Could be a dude. Floje.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. All right, let's hit a break. Oh, you know what? When we come back, I'm going to give away Mellow Mushroom gift card. $50 to Mellow Mushroom on the other side of this thing. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've cleared a lot of our trouble spots. Still have this one issue downtown. Some police activity on 35 lower level. So we are shut down southbound St. Mary's on down to Brooklyn. Looks like traffic must continue on the upper level. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. The second half of the basketball season is here. The race to playoffs is on, and there's no better time to hit Prize Picks because the money, it's heating up. 1,000 times your cash, Taco Tuesdays, and the way they pay, let me tell you. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your accounts. There's no better way to get started with Prize Picks than right now as basketball season ends. And here's the best thing about Prize Picks is you can combine different leagues leagues. You got a favorite in the pros, you got a favorite in the college. You can put them together to really maximize your bets. And remember the code Alamo. Remember, you download that when you sign up today. There's money to be had. No better place than Prize Picks right now. As the basketball season winds down, go for the place to get the best cash with your favorite sports. That's Prize Picks. You know what you're doing. Go play. In fact, go run your game.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I'm on a streak here at the radio station, and it's a streak I'd rather not be on. Every time I walk into the men's room these days, it seems like somebody's in one of those stalls, and it stinks. I'm like 5 for 5, and I'm not saying mine doesn't stink, but whoever was in there just a few minutes ago...
Everybody poops, man.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Oh! It's a mellow Monday. Ha! Listen every Monday to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz for your chance to score a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, and your chance is now. Let's do, what should I say? What's the big question? You know what? First person to, now this is going to be difficult. Rob and I went to a concert this weekend.
Well, we actually went to
the concert we went to on Sunday.
Okay.
I don't want, like, it was a cover band.
It was
and
Saturday.
I don't,
Saturday.
Or, yeah, Saturday. I don't want you to say, I don't want you to name the first person on the, I'm giving this away to the Brigade Bar. First person did not, I don't want the name of the band that they were covering. I want the name of the actual cover band. Yeah. And it can go for either one of the two cover bands that we saw on Saturday. First person to put that in the board, you are going to win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
And deserve it.
Mellow Mushrooms. You had to been listening. I don't know if anybody was listening that close. I say a lot of stupid things. They're probably like, oh, my God, what is this guy talking about?
It's been hours ago, too.
It was hours ago. But if you missed the first hour of the show, oh, well, look at that. S-Money. There's the big winner. Congratulations.
Under a blood red sky. What do they call it?
Blood red sky, yeah. So there you go. S-Money. Call into Vic or Edwin, whoever answers the phone, and they'll get you hooked up with a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom on a Mellow Monday. Monday sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. There are two teams or two conferences that have had 3 1 seeds in the tournament. 2019, the ACC had Duke, North Carolina, and Virginia.
And Virginia won it all?
Virginia was a national champion that year. Duke made the Elite 8. North Carolina made the Sweet 16. And then in 2009, the Big East had UConn, Louisville, and Pitt. It's funny because all 3 of those teams have since left the Big East. UConn has come back. But
Louisville, Big East, huh?
Yeah,
all right.
But UConn made the Final Four, and Louisville and Pitt both made the Elite 8, but did not get the win in that one. So it'd been some time, and it looks like there's a chance for that to happen again this year.
Very solid chance. Now, there's a couple Big 12 teams have something to say about it, but
I mean, Houston is the only Big 12 that's got something to say about. Like,
I mean, by the time we get through the conference tournament, I think Houston will certainly lay a
Houston
claim
and
to
Duke
it.
are the two. Like, they're the two. So my assumption is Duke is whatever happens in the ACC tournament, Duke will have a 1 seed. As long as Houston doesn't lay an egg in their conference tournament, they'll be a 1 seed, and there will be 2 SEC 1 seeds and 2 SEC 2 seeds.
I think Houston will be a 1 seed even if they lose in the semifinals. I think that they've already got it.
I think so
up.
too.
So and if they do, whoever does win the Big 12 could kind of slip in and maybe get another one. This is unprecedented. This is going to be, at least for the conference tournaments, just crazy. Now, I'm afraid we're going to get a lot of early upsets in the tournament. It's going to get a little weird. But for the conference tournaments, I think these are going to be biblical championship games.
Meanwhile, there's going to be some conference tournaments that's just dreadful basketball. The ACC tournament is going to be awful.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's going to be just so bad. But the SEC, the Big Ten, those are good. The Big 12, those will be good basketball tournaments. I'm excited for.
We've never seen anything like them before.
The Big East is pretty bad this year too, quite frankly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they tailed off. I mean, St. John's has been a very pleasant surprise. Georgetown kind of tailed off there at the end. And Nova and UConn are trying to find their way. So, yeah, it hadn't turned out the way they thought. Although Creighton's been pleasant.
No, Creighton's lost like 3 of their last 5 now. They're falling apart too. Marquette is falling apart. Like, it's St. John's has been kind of the only consistent squad in the Big East.
Still beware. Those guys, the style that they play travels.
Yeah.
All of them.
But, man, it's kind of like I say about A&M. At some point, you got to go out and get a bucket.
You got to make a shot. And well, there's a reason why they're falling like that.
It is a very, very defensively driven league, and that doesn't always play well in March.
And the thing that's gonna be kind of odd is Rutgers probably going to make the tournament. They're not going to deserve it. If they do anything in their conference tournament, they'll make it.
I don't think they're going to make it.
I think if they win 2 games, they're not going to. I mean, it matters. At the very least, they're going to be playing in because
Rutgers is 14-15 overall.
I'm just saying, if they make a little bit of run, you got 2 of the top 10 draft picks. You get a little bit of they might be the play-in team. They might be the automatic 13th seed.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to let them in.
Dylan and
can't be under
Ace
500.
Sitting in what? Dylan and Ace Bailey sitting going to the NIT. Can't afford that.
They might. What's the new tournament called?
Is there a new one?
Yeah, I think it's called like the tournament or something stupid like that. But yeah, they ain't going to the big tournament. They're going to the other tournament.
Well, wait and see. I'm telling you, I've seen too many average teams with superstars make it in on the hair just because the Ken Palm in middle of December told us we had enough.
Ken Palm doesn't like them either. They're a mess.
I hope we get to see them.
I've seen enough of them. Like, it really is. It's like, remember last year when I was telling you I watched the Lady Basketball Championship game, and it was South Carolina, the Lady Cocks against the Lady Hawkeyes, Iowa. And it was so painfully obvious that, like, nobody else on Iowa's team would have even gotten offered a scholarship by South Carolina besides Caitlin Clark. Like, so it was like 5 good players against 1. That's what Rutgers is. Rutgers has these 2 dudes, and they're both dudes. But
that's why they get invited and not win. But I just think a Tuesday night play-in game, and you have opportunity to get Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper on TV. I think they get the benefit of the doubt.
They're going to get NIT ratings, if that.
Well, probably the ratings. But, I just feel like guys like that make it to the tournament. And the selection committee knows that this is an entertainment product at the end of the day, and I'd rather see Rutgers and those guys other than the runner-up with a 20-2 record from a mid-major conference who probably deserves it far more.
Oh, well, I can't imagine that. I mean, I don't know. Rutgers' resume doesn't warrant it. I will say Dylan Harper is, I think, as good or close to as good as Cooper Flagg. I mean, he is incredible to watch. Ace Bailey's not for me. He's not my flavor.
Although he's turning it up.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's going to take him, and I don't know if they're going to be. Maybe they'll be happy with him. It's not the kind of guy I want on my team, but Dylan Harper, boy, I can't get enough of that dude. I might even watch him in the NIT. We'll see. Before he goes and plays for the Raptors or the Hornets, and I never see him play again. That's gonna be sad when he's gone. Vince says UIW is going dancing.
Sure.
They're
have to win a lot of games.
I don't know. Maybe their ladies. Did their ladies win their conference, or do they have to play a conference tournament? What's the? I don't know.
Both of them are going to have to win their conference tournament.
Yeah, UIW is not going anywhere unless they win their conference tournament, and that seems. I don't know. It seems unlikely because they play in the Southland Conference, and McNeese plays in the Southland Conference, and McNeese is basically a Big 12 team disguised as a Southland Conference team. They are going to bludgeon everybody in that thing.
McNeese, didn't they clinch it like 2 weeks ago?
Oh yeah, they've been like they're 18-1 in conference. The next closest team is 13-6. So they've long clinched the regular season, but it's going to be almost impossible for any of these teams to beat them in a tournament setting anyway. And Incarnate Word sucks. Like they're not good at basketball, unfortunately. I was hoping I shouldn't say they suck because yeah, well,
got a new coach, a program being rebuilt.
Compared to last year, they do not suck. So it was last year and the year before they sucked. Now they just suck. You know, they've got a better record than Rutgers. So there's that.
They're not playing the Big East.
Yeah, and they've won a few games in a row. They're doing all right. But yeah, McNeese is the only team coming from that Southland Conference. All right, let's hit our last break of the day, Vic, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our Pro-only checkout and dedicated Pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. you're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Vince says, dang, I'm not inviting AJ to any UIW alumni events. I said they suck less. And they do. And Alexander says AJ's ruthless unless it's his Bills. No, the Bills suck too.
What UIW fan, what you got to do is just put your nose down and be UIW fan. Don't try to compete with big public school, whether in San Antonio, anywhere else. You're UIW. You got a place in this world, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. Don't listen to us.
That's right.
Go win your games, and you and your small alumni faction can bitch. But the fact of the matter is, you're the only ones that care. Get used to it.
How dare you? I did have 2 stories that had nothing to do with sports that I thought I should share. One is there's been an arrest made after 2 people have been arrested, in fact, after multiple drugs, including 3 pounds of meth.
That's a lot of meth.
And an unconscious woman were found in the back seat of the vehicle during a traffic stop. According to a criminal complaint, state police pulled over a vehicle driven by Edward Stewart, 64 years old, for following another vehicle too close while approaching a construction zone on I-80 in Marion Township, Pennsylvania. In the front seat was passenger Cameo Evans, who is 35, who was determined to have several warrants out of Clearfield County. The criminal complaint states that Stewart told state police as they stopped the vehicle that an unidentified 57-year-old woman was asleep in the back seat of the vehicle. According to state police, Stewart and Evans were separated and gave troopers conflicting travel plans, with Stewart saying the group was traveling to Atlantic City, but changed their plans and began taking the 57-year-old woman to Clearfield, and that they had stayed in Philly for one night. The criminal complaint states that Evans told state police they had stayed in the Poconos for several nights.
You'd think they'd get their story straight.
And then they said, well, because of that, and then because of the passed out lady in the back seat, that gave them reasonable suspicion, and consent to search the vehicle it was initially denied, but then they got consent. They opened the back passenger door of the vehicle to ask the 57-year-old woman to exit. Police say they observed the woman to be laying in an awkward position with her face buried in the back seat and a coat covering her body. The criminal complaint states that the troopers performed CPR on the female, and they could not find a pulse until EMS arrived. So basically, she was like Weekend at Bernie's, but she lived. She regained a pulse, was transported to the hospital.
Good for her.
Police said a stamp bag containing fentanyl and a glass smoking device was found on the ground next to the victim, and 3 pounds of meth found in the trunk of the vehicle as well as 14 stamp bags of fentanyl. That's not good. That's not good, friends.
Did you see the story coming out of South Texas, that band that got busted with 200 pounds of meth, or the fake band?
No.
This happened over the weekend. They found a bus, like in Hidalgo, with 200 pounds of meth. And they x-rayed it, and this bus had come back and forth over the last couple of months, since like August, and was making these weekly trips, and they said it was a band that was performing in Houston. Well, they x-rayed the bus, and then they found a hole or something, an anomaly, they said, in the gas tank, and found like 200 pounds of meth and a bunch of cash. But the best thing about this was they had this whole group of dudes that were acting like band members, but none of them could play an instrument.
That's awesome.
So they got pulled over, and they started talking music with them, and none of them could talk music. They're like, okay. Yeah, okay.
Claymore has tweeted me and said that Flo J has an album out. She's on Jay-Z's Rock Nation label, and he says, of course you wouldn't know because you two don't watch women's hoops like that, but
true.
Everyone else does.
Well, good.
Claymore saying everyone else does.
No, I'm not taking that personally. If you're down with watching it, that's great. I had
But
no
don't
idea.
say everyone else is watching women's hoop. Look,
well,
I got news for you, especially the college lady basketball ratings are in the dumps. Last year was the year. And they're always going to point, oh, we had that year where our ratings were awesome, and now you've got nothing.
And don't lie. Every Sunday, I wake up about noon. I'm ready to watch a basketball game, and I see a matchup that looks spectacular. Click on it, and it's ladies. I mean, it's
they used to mark them.
Oh man, they do depending on the way you're searching, but a lot of times it just says basketball or just,
ESPN Plus. You got to be real careful about picking. If you know who the home team is. I always search by home team. It's always the team on the right.
Yeah, but you never know when you're with these conferences.
Because most of the small schools,
yesterday.
like the small schools, will if it's American against Bryant, that means American is at Bryant, then the Bryant women are at American.
Oh,
that's the way they do it typically, yeah.
It's just such a letdown. I forget the game I thought I was going to see yesterday, and I'm going to record that, hit record, come back and turn it on, and it's not nearly what I expect.
And Claymore says, say thank you and keep it moving, AJ. No, you did hook me up on some info. You were just wrong about everyone else is watching women's hoops.
I just wish I had the time.
The other non-sport story, a cat was moving. A family was moving with their cat, and the movers were taking away all the stuff. They were moving from Washington to Colorado, and the cat was skittish. They thought the cat's afraid of the movers, and they were like, oh, the cat probably ran outside. When the movers get everything out, the cat will come back, and they were going to take the cat on the airplane with them. Well, they couldn't find the cat. The cat never showed up, and it's like, oh, man, the cat ran away. And, I mean, the family had to move. They sold their house. All their stuff's gone. So
Is this a Disney movie? Is this going to turn into a Disney movie?
I don't think so.
Oh.
So the cat's gone, and family moves to Colorado. And finally, after 3 weeks from the day that they moved out, they get their stuff back. And the movers bring their stuff to Colorado.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, 1,050 miles. Yikes. I don't know why it took so long. I guess it had to wait in a storage center or something. But they go to unwrap the couch. They had the couch saran wrapped, the plastic, it was like a hide-a-bed couch.
No.
3 weeks their cat was in that hide-a-bed couch. It meowed. The cat survived 3 weeks, no food, no water, stuffed in a hide-a-bed couch, wrapped in saran wrap. It was emaciated, obviously. But they took it to the vet. It spent 2 days at the vet, and now it's back home with the family normal. How crazy is that?
I don't know.
I would have felt awful.
That's not physically possible.
It happened. The vet called it a miracle cat. It rode 1,050 miles in a moving truck while stuck inside the couch.
For 3 weeks. You're telling me a
weeks.
cat didn't eat or drink?
Nope.
For 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I don't believe it.
It's an orange cat, so orange cats are crazy.
They are of Satan.
Yeah, they're wild, man. They are wild. All right, let's go ahead and knock out the daily lines.
Not alive. All 9
It's
of
the
it.
Morning Huddle. Look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I also hate when you care about a couch enough to wrap it in plastic, and it also gets pooped in. Like that's a bummer.
I don't think I want this cat.
I don't think I want
this
that
cat's of another world.
I don't think I want that couch anymore. I can tell you that much.
I think he's going to try to kill you.
In
a couch.
In the association, the Warriors are at the Hornets. Warriors minus 12.5 in Charlotte. Did you see, by the way, Steph Curry dunked on Saturday? The first time in 6 years he's dunked in a game. And then he said after the game, that will be the last time you ever see me dunk in a game. He's never doing it again, he said.
Because you don't want to get shorted. You want to make the last one you try.
It's too
you know what I mean?
Too much of a toll on the old body.
Mic. Well, just drop the mic. There'll come a day when you can't. You don't want anybody else to know you can't but you. Don't let anybody else know.
You like the Dubs tonight?
Oh, they're
12.5 is a pretty big number, though.
Right now is you're noticing those vet-led old guy teams are winning basketball games.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else is kind of taking a breath and hitting a wall, but the vets, they know this is when you make some hay. Go get the games now because still teams are figuring out. They're starting to get their stretch run. They're getting everybody healthy. Go win games now. It'll matter in a month.
This is the craziest number to me. Okay, I'll just ask you. Portland's at Philadelphia. What's the number?
Man, realistically, I'd pick them. I'd say no more than 1, 2, either way.
Portland plus 3.
Wow. See, Portland's on a trend.
Portland's playing so much better than Philadelphia right now. I don't care about home. Like, Portland almost beat the Cavs last night.
They did.
Now, I'm always worried about playing a team in a back-to-back after they just played overtime.
Philly doesn't care.
Philly doesn't even count. They're not a real basketball team.
No, they're not.
Wizards are at the Heat. Wizards plus 8.5.
Now, the Heat, didn't the Heat just win it? They were overtime last night. I know that.
The Heat had overtime last night?
I think so. They might have been Orlando that they were going
Oh, yeah, they beat Orlando by 2.
That's a big number for a team that just won.
Yeah. I don't think I'm looking. Oh, no, the Heat played the Knicks. That's who they played. They lost to the Knicks last night in overtime, 116-112. The Raptors are the ones that beat the Magic by 2. Yeah, I don't want. I'm out on that game. Hawks are at the Grizz. Atlanta plus 9.
Wow.
Atlanta also.
I just wish Atlanta would realize who the hell they are and start following instructions.
Yeah,
you're just spinning your wheels, guys. And this has nothing to do with the draft pick. If you're a Hawks fan, start losing.
They're trying.
What are you doing?
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to lose games, but they're just. I don't know. They're not even good at that. You can't even tank properly.
We can help. We know how to do it.
What's wrong with them? Rockets are at the Thunder.
Oh, I like the Rockets tonight.
I didn't think I would like the Rockets, but this number is kind of forcing my hand. Rockets plus 9.5.
It's huge.
That's a big number, man.
And how many? I mean,
they're acting like the Thunder's playing the Pelicans.
And the Spurs, they offered some defense, but 146 points is a freaking track meet. That's a lot of yards. You know what I mean? They went up and down the court a lot. That's going to be a tired basketball team.
Kings are -2 in Dallas.
That's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one. I might like the Kings tonight. And then Detroit -9 at Utah. At the Utah. Did you say Utes? Did you say
I would like to see what's an exhibition match. Right now, let's clear a day.
Hornets, Jazz.
I want to know Portland.
Oh.
I want to see Portland, Detroit. I want to see these two young teams that have decided, you know what? Forget draft pick. Forget lottery balls. We're winning basketball games. Let's just go have fun and win some games.
I'm for it. Hockey tonight. The Senators are at the Capitals. Capitals -150 as Ovi continues his search for the all-time goals record. The Sabres and the Canadiens are a pick'em. Islanders are at the Rangers. Rangers -115. Panthers -140 hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Toronto Maple Leafs -355. Anytime you hear a number that big, you can pretty much assume they are playing the San Jose Sharks. And the LA Kings -250 at Chicago. In the world of collegiate basketballing tonight, there are 2 games, I believe, involving top 25 programs. The Duke Blue Devils, minus 19.5 against Wake Forest. Wake Forest, in the ACC, there's 3 tournament teams. There's Duke, Clemson, and Louisville. Wake Forest is like trying their best to hang on the bubble. My guess is they just get their ass kicked tonight. I've got no interest in backing them against this Duke squad that's just a juggernaut.
What's the over-under line on this?
144.5.
That's a little low than I would have thought.
And then the Kansas-Houston game, Houston minus 9.5. Total in that one, 132.5.
Man, I don't know if you could be any further down than Kansas feels. I'm not saying that they're that far down. I'm just saying Kansas probably woke up on Sunday.
Kansas is 10-8 in conference play.
I can't imagine that team with Self. It's such a gut check time because they're capable. This was the preseason #1 team, and now everybody's just about healthy.
They're 10-8. If they lose tonight, which again,
I
they're
think it's likely.
almost 10-point dogs tonight. That would make them 10-9. They play Arizona on Saturday at home. So if they lose that game, it's a 500 season in the Big 12. That's unimaginable
Especially for Kansas and Bill Self. And I don't think he's as big a candidate or even a number on the short list, a name on the short list for the Spurs, because I thought he was for a minute. But if there was ever a time for a coach to be looking elsewhere, it's right now, because it seems the NIL and everything that the benefit that Kansas always had, now that they're having to share it with the rest of the world, they're not able to keep up.
Lastly, there was a boxing match over the weekend, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. Tank Davis undefeated, and Lamont Roach Jr. moved up in weight and should have beat him. Tank Davis took a knee in the 11th round because he said that he had just gotten his hair done and some grease came into his eye and he couldn't see. But if you take a knee, like that's saying, hey, don't hit me, and then he went over to the corner and dabbed his towel with an eye, like that's considered a knockdown. The ref didn't call it a knockdown, and the fight gets scored a majority draw. Like, what? Yeah. Lamont Roach, this would have been like when you beat a guy like Tank Davis, it takes your star to a different level. This would have been a life-changing win for him, and they were like, no, we're not calling that a knockdown. It's crazy. Yeah. And they say they're going to run it back. We'll see. But yeah, he gave Gervonta the business.
So was he going to quit?
No, he legitimately had grease in his eye, but it's like you can't take a knee and say like, time out, I need to get this out of my eye.
Who was winning?
Like at that moment, Tank was probably winning because it was 11th round, and Roach won the 12th round also. He won the 11th and the 12th. But again, when the score was a draw at the end, if they gave him a point for the knockdown, or if they took away a point from Tank for the knockdown, he would have won, and he'd have a life-changing win right now, and he'd get all the money for a rematch. It'd be huge, but yeah.
What's the typical gap between rematch?
I bet they'll do it. I bet they'll do it
by the summer.
Yeah, summertime, late summer. They want to get it done pretty quick, I'm sure, or maybe even midsummer. All right, friends. Another show in the books for us. We've got meetings with the suits all day.
A suit in town. Glad you brought your toothpaste.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Vic, did you dress up for this meeting?
Nope, I didn't. I was supposed to go.
Yeah, you are. You're supposed to be there all day.
Yeah.
All right, friends. The Blitz comes up at 2. They're an all right show. You should check them out. Not as good as us, but they'll do. They'll get the job done. They'll tell you some stuff later on today.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow at 6 doing this all over again, friends. Till then.
On your